I put back my nails. That's what I'm gonna do. I will take them off after I do the video, and then I will put them back on when I have to do the video. I have more chocolate. I actually had a biscuit. It was a unicorn biscuit. That one. Where the fuck is it? Okay, there it is. So, oh, the other way. So that's the biscuit, but I'm too full to eat the biscuit, to be fair. Oh, it has water. I shouldn't be putting back in the drawer. Okay. Hope I didn't fuck anything in here. Let me just check. I have put my charger here, and all my chargers actually, and all my electronic equipment for my videos, so I wanna just check if I didn't fuck anything up. No, I haven't. Okay, so I closed my drawer, everything is okay. So fuck my life. I wanna find the fucking rest of the video. Okay, so I will react into it. What the fuck is it though? I was thinking after I finish it, maybe do something. Let's open the game, by the way. Let's put the volume there. Okay. Maybe find another video of Sarah to speak about. Oh my god, that was an advertisement. Another video of hers where she is speaking about her curry, or maybe like, I don't know. I'm just searching. Maybe I could do, I think I would do that. Maybe I will, oops, I took it back some seconds, about 40 seconds back, just to make sure that we remember everything she said. Maybe find another video where she talks about Ekati, or yeah, that was Greek accent, Ekati. Main story mode. We'll file to. Okay. Or maybe find something else. Maybe dreams they have seen of Hecate or Zeus, or like no, maybe even like Jesus, or whatever, like Christians who became Christians, or maybe reacting to ex pagans becoming Christians. Maybe that would be the deal. But let's see. I have an appetite to play today. I have a really good appetite to play today. So where the fuck am I going? Remind me, bestie. I will do that. First, I will finish the video of hers, and then I will find maybe an ex-witch. I think she has reacted also to ex-witches. Usually, ex-witches are one of the kind, because they are bullshitting you, and they are saying their crap is actually chocolate. And if you are eating, I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. It's not your fault. It's mine. Okay. But this is what usually people who claim to be ex-witches usually do. They say their crap is actually chocolate. That's the problem. And again, I'm saying sorry. I apologize for that. Alright. What's that? I know Boa Blaster. Like Van Gogh, rabbits often practice their craft with torture tributes of themselves. Okay. I know that. Yeah, weapon. I know you take weapons and you can actually update them. You know what I mean? so you don't stay the same throughout the game. So yep, but you have to do it manually, you don't do it automatically. You have to do it when you feel like you have to do it and when you have the coins to do it, okay? So that's why it's very vital to pay attention to the coins you have around you, gather them, play nicely, so you have more money to spend in game to like fix your bullshit with your equipment. Let's see what she says now. I will put the video, put it here. Where's my chocolate? Where's my fucking chocolate? What the fuck? Oh, okay. I put my phone upon my chocolate. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. No, don't wanna play Monopoly. I had an ad of Monopoly here. Right there. So let's see.
Bedroom from the 1980s or something.
Okay, she had such a dream. Yeah.
Appeared as a voice in my mind, purveying at me. So when I woke up the next day, I realised, oh, that's a message. I need to do a banishing on myself.
Okay.
And Vivian is good in banishings. You know, so she can get the message across.
It is vital that we stop that rabbit who integrated himself with the super mage before he creates any more atrocities. Okay. Oh, I've received another message from our mysterious friend. Let me read it to you. Congratulations, Bippo. You have successfully led your party through trials and travails worthy of Odysseus himself. What the fuck? I will put that in. Close the flashlight. Put this as thumbnail. Odysseus. Finally, someone gives me the credit I am due. Mario is happy. Mario is clapping. This, of course, is mainly due to Mario and your rabbit friends, whose skill in battle you vastly underestimated. Okay. Did he really? Yes, well, ahem. Though as with Odysseus, there are rougher waters ahead. Yeah. Yeah. That is for my ex who was wondering what the fuck is Odyssey about. Western society is built on my culture. This is a Japanese game, essentially. Yes, it is part of the American culture. Yes, the rabbits are part of the American culture. They are not Japanese game or whatever. But can you see they are paying tribute to Odysseus? Yeah, because it's my culture, and my culture means West. Go fuck yourself, that's what I'm gonna say. You always spoke about your country and you forgot that my country is what your country is in the East, but in the West. Go fuck yourself, that's all I'm gonna say. Therefore, I feel this time has come to bestow upon you some new tools for your arsenal. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna have special weapons. Henceforth, in addition to being able to move and fire upon your adversaries, you will each be able to perform one other action during the natural course of combat. Yeah, that's a very special, like, dual, I don't know, like a skill, let's put it that way, you can have, and you use it once per battle or twice, I think, maybe. You can't use it. It's like a rare gift each character has. Not all of them have it. It's unique. To Mario, I have given the gift of Hero Sight. When activated, he will be able to strike at foes within range, even outside the normal succession of events. Yeah, that's what I mean. Mario's gift is very unique. I usually prefer this from the other characters. You can unlock Luigi as well later. I just prefer Mario. Mario has the best abilities in the game, in my opinion. To Rabbit Pits I give the gift of shield. When used it will ward against most weapons damage. Yeah, that's also good. It's also needed. To some extent. To Rabbit Luigi I grant super barrier. It protects against enemy super effects and can also reduce damage. I don't really remember this one. I guess it's good. And you can update them. As for how to mostly effectively use your new gifts, I leave that to you to discover for yourselves. More gifts will come in the future, I hope. With anticipation, your biggest fan. Okay. Aha, our incognito ally's ability to give us exactly what we need at exactly the right time is uncanny. Yeah, because it's a game. Remind me not to play them, I'll go fish. What is go fish? Is it a game? Hold on. Go Fish is a popular children's card game where players try to collect books of 4 cards of the same rank by asking other players for specific cards. So it is a game with like the cards. I didn't know that. Okay. Okay, welcome to the jungle. That's a song from how's that called? Guns N' Roses. Welcome to the jungle. It's a nice song. I like Guns N' Roses. I went to see them because they didn't want to take me there. That's why. Check out those suspicious covers. They have the same super effect symbol most weapons have. They look ready to explode or something. Let's avoid using weapons within close proximity to them. Okay. Okay. I didn't remember that.
However she needs to. Now, symbolism as well, she can show up in your everyday life, but again, please use discernment. Not every single thing is a sign. Some people go overboard with it. This could be with,
Sorry?
well, she can show up in your everyday life, but again, please use discernment. Not every single thing is a sign. Some people go overboard with it. This could be with,
It depends which deity you are working with this one. She says that not every single sign is a sign from Hecate. Some people go overboard with it. Well, can I use my special ability? Okay. Um, because if you work with my dad, for example, let's put it that way. Yes, every sign is a sign from him because he fuck my life. Can I have can I everything is a sign for my dad, as I was saying, because he okay, bye bye. Everything is a sign for my dad because everything comes from him. He's the creator. Like he's everything in the universe, so everything is a sign from him. Even the things you don't understand currently, what they mean, what they can be, you don't have to be able to interpret everything he gives you, and you shouldn't want to do that because he's God and he will always know more things about everything than you do, and you shouldn't really try to have his glory, if that makes sense. Like, stop trying to do all the hard work when he is in charge. That's what I will say to you. Because people usually they usually think that, well, to prove their worth, pretty much they have to mimic what my dad is doing, and that's a little bit bullshit, because you can never do what my dad is doing. He's a deity. He's not like you. And like, I don't know, I don't know how to explain it. I mean, oh god, I pressed wrong button. I pressed wrong button. Can I go further ahead with this? And yeah, she says that not everything is from Hecate. Nothing comes from her. She doesn't work with signs. That's what I would say. She And how does she work then? Zeus works with your, like, I don't know how to describe it. Sometimes I'm getting lost for words. He doesn't say what he wants you to know. He's implying stuff. I'm always saying that. So you like Sarah is describing. If you don't do that, Sarah, at least be more specific so I don't make any mistakes with your understanding, okay? Sarah implies that Hecate, if she wants her to do something, she's gonna say it verbally. That's not the case. That's very misconception about the pagan deities. They don't tell you what you have to hear from her. They imply everything they say, so you won't find it written or said by them. They want you to figure it out yourself when they say something like that. For example, let's say that Zeus wants you to accept that you are a prostitute. Let's put it that way, that you have the sin of prostitution. He's not gonna tell you face to face that you are a prostitute for him. He's gonna imply it. For example, you may scroll in a video which is a random event, and if you are like, you said that there are no random events for Yahweh. I said that everything that happens in your life from Yahweh is not a random event, not what Zeus is using in Yahweh's universe. I don't know if you can understand the difference between the two. Can I fix the weapons? That's what I was trying to do. But yeah, weapon. Can I? Okay, I don't have the money to buy a third weapon as well. Okay, so as I was saying, I bought new weapons, and I have um, I don't have secondary weapons yet, and I can't upgrade them yet. That's the point of what I'm saying. But yeah, as I was saying, Hecate is implying her bullshit. She's not saying it. So let's say that you scroll and you find a video of like a woman saying, "I quit OnlyFans for God." Okay, for Yahweh that doesn't mean anything, because he gives you the video, and like I discussed it with him, and that was his way. For example, because I say everything is a sign from him, I am explaining to you how it works. Sometimes I don't have the correct grammar to say it. I can feel it from my experience. So I told him I found the video and I want to discuss it, and he actually exposed that as a false teaching from him yesterday. And yeah, that's a sign from him. He gives you this thing that is a scandal, basically. That's a scandal because it's a false teaching. He offers you the opportunity to either accept it or deny it, because you have free will, never forget that. I denied it, I discussed it with him, and I told him I felt upset by seeing the video, and he said that it is a false teaching, and he turned that moment into a teaching lesson where he explained to me that this is a false teaching and I shouldn't even agree with that. Makes sense? So that's what I'm saying is what happens with Hecate that doesn't happen with Hecate. My father went straight forward and said this is a false teaching, you shouldn't accept that. But with Hecate, she doesn't do that. She's giving you the video, you listen the video, and you are like, okay, so Taylor had an OnlyFans, I have an OnlyFans, so I am in the sin of prostitution. Did God tell me anything directly? No. God told me directly in my post that he thinks this video is a false teaching. That was direct speech. The other thing, when you open the video and you see a resemblance, you're like, okay, she has, I have, I do that, she does that, therefore I am a prostitute, I am in sin, I have to repent and quit that. That's not direct speech from Yahweh, that's divination. You show a resemblance with the video that you have, and you take this as a confirmation sign from God that you have to quit doing something because another person said that they have done it. You see a resemblance, you don't hear direct speech. Does that make any sense? That's what I'm saying here. That's how Hecate works. She doesn't say anything, she's implying it. And implying is never from God. God always goes directly. And yesterday, for example, he said men want women to wait for them 8 months and 3 years, and this is not enough for them. They want their women beautiful and virgins. That was not him implying, bestie, that you might be that guy. No, he spoke directly about you because he gave you the months I'm waiting for you, the years I'm waiting for you, and what you expected me to be, beautiful virgin. That was directly for you. That was direct speech. Because he said directly something that happens with you and me. It's specific. If it wasn't specific, like, then do you know many guys out there that women wait for them 8 months and 3 years, and they want them virgins and beautiful and don't like them for waiting them so many months and years? You get what I mean? That's direct, that's specific. What she says is not specific, it's general. It has to be specific, like a reference in a scholarly enough book. Let's put it that way. You have to put, this is Harvard referencing, this is the title, it's in italics, it's the page, it's the chapter, it's the publication house, everything. You have to put everything down, and that's what he did yesterday. And what Taylor did with the video, that's not direct, that's implying, that's divination. That's the difference. So no, I disagree. She doesn't work with signs as she says. She says that she uses signs to communicate stuff with you. That's something that my dad is doing. Like, I am giving you a sign in the movie. This guy's named Johnny. He's a gangster. He saved Kevin from the people in the hotel. That's a direct sign because you saw also the hotel in the Shining movie. Johnny is the way I call my dad. It's an old American movie. I like old American shit. Johnny is a gangster. My father is playing the gangster usually. It was a love story, so Johnny is you and I am the woman. Something like that. because I made the YouTube video where I was Johnny and you were the woman. That's direct. What Sarah says is that she's using abstract signs and she's communicating directly. That's what she says. I can't explain it better, but that's what she's saying. She's saying that she saw a dream and Hecate told her, do a banishing spell. Hecate wouldn't say do this banishing spell is this and that. Helga, how do you know that? Because I was talking with ZEUS and I know him personally. That's not how he communicates. He wouldn't even tell you to do banishing spells, let's put it that way. He doesn't operate like that, but that's another discussion. If you want to see more about that, read Timaeus by Plato. There's no better witch than Plato. He was the best philosopher of his age, and philosopher means pagan, pretty much. He's a pagan, he's a mystic. Okay, so no. If people are doing spells and they're using, for example, herbs and stuff, that's because Hecate might use the picture. For example, they see, let's say, eucalyptus, they see it on Google because it's the eucalyptus day, let's put it that way. They see it and they take it as a sign that this is from Hecate, and they put it and they make the mixture themselves. It's divination. She's not gonna give you instructions, bestie. Instructions is something that Yahweh is giving. For example, hi Noah, I'm gonna destroy the world. I want you to build a boat. The boat will be 10 meters long and the width will be 80 meters long. You're gonna make the thickness 2 meters. You're gonna make the roof like very high. You will put a plant on top of it. You will put a pirate flag as well. Then you will put your family inside. I will give you all the animals but in pairs, and then I'm gonna flood the earth. What I'm saying here, that's a direct speech first and foremost, and secondly, instructions. You don't get instructions from the pagan deities. They are not gonna give their precious time to a person who not only is not a Greek, because Sarah, you're not a Greek, she's never gonna waste her time with a person who's not a Greek. I'm telling you, because I am a Greek and I know that. She prefers to spoil us because she sees us as golden children. That's what she's doing. That's her crap. Okay. Not only she wouldn't do that because you're not a Greek, but also she wouldn't tell you because this is not how she speaks. She wants you to figure out everything yourself. She doesn't want to talk to you. She's ignoring. She's talk to the hand. She's the impersonal deity of Spinoza. That's what I'm saying. Spinoza was believing in this deity to be. That's the name of it. P 3.14. Okay. Zeus, as I say, and yeah, people today know this deity as Yahweh. Unfortunately, he's playing my dad. The devil is playing my dad. Yeah, I've said this many times in my dissertation, in my posts, my videos, my channel, my stories. I've said it everywhere. That's the true that's the true story. Okay. But yeah, she's not gonna tell you how to make a potion. She's not gonna tell you how to make a spell. She's not gonna tell you anything. You have to figure it out yourself. And when she's giving you signs, she's not telling you what exactly the signs are. She expects you to figure it out yourself, which means maybe you get it wrong, darling, because when you see a eucalyptus, you cannot know exactly what she means when she's giving you that sign and she says, that's my sign, figure it out. I'm seeing a plant. I'm seeing a fucking goddamn plant in the internet. Why should the hell mean anything? And she says, yes, it means anything. You have to figure out what this anything is about. And I'm like, it's a fucking goddamn plant. Give me more info. She's not gonna give you more info. That's what I'm explaining. The fact that you say, oh, I should cut that and make a spell with that and and like make a potion and then give it and maybe do a banishing spell with that. That's all your ideas. It's not her. Yes, she's gonna support you because you are doing her bullshit, but that doesn't mean she said it. You thought about that. You went into that direction. It's not her that said that. You get what I mean? But you said it yourself. She's talking to you in your clairvoyance, and you have managed to understand what thoughts are hers and what are your thoughts, right? That's what I'm telling you, and that's why you said put every message like in the doc pretty much, and take it with a grain of salt. You say that exactly because you know she's not talking like my dad. She's not giving any clues, any explanations. She's not telling you the future. She's not. It's exactly what my dad is saying in Isaiah. Let them say the future. Whoever believes in them is nothing. And if Sarah is here and says, so your dad thinks I am nothing, no, I didn't say that. I said what the Bible says. Okay? Why are we always questioning why my dad says this and that, and we never question what a cat is talking about when she's not even talking about anything, and she's always sleeping and having her period and telling other people to make channels and feed her meat and all that bullshit that she says? But we always question why my dad said this and that. Why did he say this? Why did he say that? Because he's God and he can say whatever the fuck he wants to say, and he's not gonna let any mortal question him and say you shouldn't say that. Why are you all of you raising your heads and saying you shouldn't say that? Will the creature question the creator? What is he gonna say? And will the pottery ask the potter why it was created? Because he wanted to. That's all. Accept it and grow up. I'm not gonna discuss why my father says this and that. We're gonna discuss what Hecate is saying, and I'm done questioning my father because all of you are apostates. Okay, that's all, and that's not about Sarah. She didn't say anything. I'm just explaining that I always, since I became a theologian, I have my ex, I have Yuze, I have everybody. I have Andrew, I had Basir, I had Fiona, I have people from my neighborhood, from my previous neighborhood, from my school, from not from my school, from everywhere I can think of. Why did God do that? Why did God do that? But when they hear something about the pagan deities, that's so cool, isn't it? That's actually very intellectual. Go fuck yourself. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm tired having you all question my dad, but not questioning anything that happened with the pagan deities. You hear the pagan deities saying bullshit and you are all okay with that. You're not questioning them. You're questioning why my dad said this and that. As if you know who my father is, and you've decided inside of you that he's not a good person. When you will be in his company and you will see that he's a bad person, then I will make a discussion with you why he says this and that. But until then, I'm not gonna discuss anything else, because I've seen even you, Sarah. You have said many times, yeah, Lilith is associated with bad stuff. There is not all love and light. Yes, Hecate is also not love and light all the time. She's always dark. She's also dark as well. You say this for every deity, but when it comes from my dad, you say the Abrahamic God, the monotheistic God, this is a fabrication, he hates everybody. So does your God, Sarah. In case you haven't read our myths, so does Hecate. So does Zeus. But for some reason, all of you bullshitters have problems with my dad. That's what I'm saying. And no, I'm not cursing you directly. That's how I speak. I'm just clarifying. This is how I speak. Even in my native language, I'm cursing all the time. Don't take it personally. Love you all. Go forward with that. Strange, though it looks like there are only 2 of those rabbit marked covers. My sensors detect 4 of them. Watch out, they may be disguised as normal covers. Okay, let's continue with the video. Where's my camera? Okay.
Seeing everyday life that you wouldn't normally, like seeing more dogs, as an example. That wouldn't apply if you live somewhere where people walk their dogs all the time. You know what I mean? But if it's not a common occurrence for you, perhaps so.
That's very. If we speak about my dad, that's what I mean. If we speak about my dad, that's very, very wrong. Very wrong. So I'm gonna say for Hecate, I explained already. She's not speaking with signs. She couldn't care less to give you signs. Let's put it that way. Okay. So it's not about her giving a sign. We speak about my dad giving a sign here. If my dad gave you a sign with dogs, let's say that somebody wants, for example, my dad gave you a playlist with animals. Where am I going? I don't. Okay. 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 Let's say that he gave you the playlist, right? He gave you the playlist because he wanted you to see why I love to live with the animals, or close to the animals, in close proximity with the animals. Okay. So, okay. He gave it to you so you can understand how it will feel to live with them by our door, right? What I'm trying to say here is that if you live then in the pond, by the pond with the ducks, and so there are more of them. Okay. So if you do that, let's put it that way. Um, if you do that, if you live by the ducks, and you have them by your door every single day, that proves that this is a sign from my dad. He fulfilled his word to you, his vocation. He did what he had foretold you he would do. He said, I will show you how it is to be by the animals. I had showed you the shadow. It was foreshadowed. It was the shadow of the future. That isn't this written in the epistles of Paul. So he showed you how it will be because he gave you a playlist. But then you live it, so you are in the promised land. So what you experience is a sign from God. Sarah says if you live in an area where dogs are, because dogs are associated with Hecate, that's why she says that keys, crossovers, crossroads, sorry, where is my English? Dogs, these are signs by Hecate according to primitive paganism. If you ask Plato, he will say this is not the case, obviously, but yeah. Well, if you are with Hecate and you live in a such area, Hecate says that's not my sign. You just live in an area with dogs. That's what she says. Yeah, because Hecate, Sarah herself says that is not working by signs. Sarah, you said it yourself. Hear your voice and realize what you say in actuality. If a cat is associated with dogs, okay, and you live in by a pet shop or by a park where people take their dogs, you should have told me that you live with Hecate directly. The fact that you don't and you say this is not a sign by Hecate when it is her direct sign is dogs and keys, right? When you say that you live with these things by your door and they are not a sign from her, you confirm what I'm teaching in this channel. She is not working by signs. That's not the way she talks. What did you say though? If there is a rare instance in your life where you see a dog, that might be a sign by Hecate. Why? Because Hecate is not working with you. She's working, how do you say it, Sarah? Don't you say it all the time? She's working from afar. That's what her name means. Hecate, yeah. That's what it means in Greek, bestie. She's working from afar. Why? Because she is the distant planet Jupiter in the star system, the solar system. You can't really see her. She's very big. She's very far away. Yes, you kind of see her with the naked eye, but she's very far away. She's not close to you. What is she? She's the impersonal deity of Spinoza. This is where all comes down to. Okay. If she talks to you, it will be a very rare case where you might see a dog, and even then you are not even sure if it is her sign. If it is her sign, seeing dogs, if dogs are associated with her, then why the fuck she is not associated with me living by a pet shop where I hear every time from my window dogs barking, for example. And please don't start telling me that pet shops shouldn't have dogs in there. That's not the point of discussion. I'm not doing here what is morally correct or wrong. I'm explaining the signs. I'm giving examples. I'm giving sentences and examples to teach you. I'm not speaking about morality in here. I'm explaining how it works. If I live in an area where dogs are all around, pet shop, vet, park, a neighbor with 5 pit bulls and 5 boxers and a bulldog and a pug and a golden doodle, I don't know, whatever the fuck it might be, this should be a sign, according to your theology, that Hecate is working in my life. But you say it's not. Yeah? Thank you for confirming my message. She's not working with signs. That's not her way of talking. If she was, you would have told me this is her sign. Why you say it is not her, Sarah? Isn't it because you say that God is not always present in our lives? That's why you say. When she is present, she's not exactly for me. She's actually for her. Everything has to do with her. Nothing has to do with me. If I want a partner, if I want a career, if I want a better life, if I want an answer to a trauma that I have from my past, from my childhood, from yesterday, from this morning when I entered the bus and somebody made a racist comment on me. She doesn't have to do anything to me. I have to serve her, I have to provide her, and that's why I wrote this essay a couple of years ago, and I said, my father is the provider, Zeus is not a provider. Hope I explained why I said that, and yep. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's continue with that.
You may see keys in places you wouldn't normally, or some of her other symbolism, things showing up in threes and patterns of 3.
Oh,
It could be personal.
okay. Let's hear this again.
Seeing symbols, I don't know, in your everyday life that you wouldn't normally, like seeing more dogs, as an example. That wouldn't apply if you live somewhere where people walk their dogs all the time. You know what I mean? But if it's not a common occurrence for you, perhaps so. You may see keys in places you wouldn't normally, or some of her other symbolism, things showing up in threes and patterns of 3.
Sorry I'm interrupting, but the fact that we seriously discussed that seeing a key could be a sign for Hecate, my father is laughing. Doesn't that prove that Hecate is actually the other mother from Coraline? Like, what the heck? Keys. Coraline. You dare disobey your mother! Oh my fucking god. I don't know. What the fuck? Oh fuck! I should have hit that guy there. Fuck! Oh my god. Okay, let's hear what she has to say though.
If it's not a common occurrence for you,
Fuck
perhaps
them.
so. You may see keys in places you wouldn't normally, or some of her other symbolism, things showing up in threes in patterns of three. It could be personal.
Three it is the Trinity, because Hecate, because she's Zeus, as I have said, she's Zeus, Poseidon, Hades. It's the true nature of God, and that means to be in Greek paganism. Ine. It's the verb to be. It's not translatable. It's like saying Yewa and not Yahweh. It's very much my father's name. It's my goddamn father's fucking name, because Hecate. Father, don't laugh with me. He's laughing because I'm angry. I'm sorry, I can't. I, I don't know. I don't know. Like, it makes me angry. It makes me angry because Zeus is always asking what is my father's, and that makes me upset. That makes me very angry. That shouldn't be the case, right? That's very bad. Okay. Anyways. Okay, I think I finished. Let's see if I finished. Okay, I finished. Okay, that's good. So, and Sarah, because I have noticed that you don't know numerology and sacred geometry, because you never speak about this, and you don't really seem to understand the concepts, and I don't say you should. You shouldn't. That's dark stuff. I'm gonna discuss if you say anything about this stuff, because I can read numerology and ancient sacred geometry and algebra. If you discuss anything, I will open up about this, but that's not the point of the discussion here. Discussing about demonology pretty much. That's not regular demonology. This is Greek understanding of the divine, because Plato had said that the way God talks pretty much is through maths. That's what he had said, and yeah, if you wanna talk with Zeus, you should know mathematics very very well. I agree with that. And no, I'm not saying you should talk with Zeus. You shouldn't. You clearly shouldn't talk with him. But people are bullshitting you and they talk with him, right? That's the problem. I wanna take that coin. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to take that coin there. Okay, let's hear what she says.
Personal things to you as well, but just you may see keys in places you wouldn't normally, or some of her other symbolism, things showing up in threes in patterns of three.
Patterns of them.
It could be personal things to you as well, but just keep an eye out. It's when you have that gut feeling. The number 3 is linked with her, but if you're looking at your microwave and it's saying like 3 o'clock, it's not always going to be her. Sometimes it is just 3 o'clock.
Yeah,
so
okay, yeah, okay. Sarah, you don't know numerology, don't you? Because from what you say, you don't understand how numerology works. Yes, if you see number 3 on your microwave, yes, it is a sign from Hecate. You gave me as a sign from Zeus if I see a dog in the street and a key. But you don't give me a sign from Zeus seeing number 3 in the microwave. Yeah. Yeah, you don't know numerology. Sarah, quit talking with these deities. All I'm gonna say to you, darling, is this: quit talking with them. Don't go deeper just because I say I know better numerology and you don't know numerology. You said even the way you told it, you said she is associated with she's associated. Okay, I opened the door. Really? You said she's associated with the number 3. Sarah, she's not associated with the number 3. She is the number 3. It's her name. You get what I mean? You don't get it, right? It's her name. It's not. She's not associated with numbers. It's her speech. It's how she talks. It's her spiritual name. 3. 3.14. That's her name. Okay. And yeah, I don't say you should know that. You shouldn't. I'm just explaining, and I'm just telling you to stay away from her. That's why they're making this video, and that's why I open my cards, not to initiate you even further in all that crap, but to tell you to stay away, because I know what you are doing. I have done it, and you are putting yourself in jeopardy with what you are doing, pretty much. That's all I'm gonna say, right? Can I take again the challenge? Hold on a second. Where was the other one? I don't understand. Okay, another one. Another one more time. One more time. Okay. Hit me, baby, one more time. 1, 2, 3. Go back. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. Okay. Let's continue with the video.
Gonna be her. You know, sometimes it is just 3 o'clock.
No.
You know, so.
Sarah, ZEUS came in my dream. I said this in my other video, and he said, "Did you know, Helga, that the hour of the witch is 3 o'clock at night?" And that was a dream by him, Sarah. I say that because I'm a Greek and an ex-pagan. That was my religion, and that's the religion of my country as well. Yeah, if you see the number 3 on a microwave, according to your belief system, Sarah, yeah, that's a sign from Hecate. It's not just a sign by Hecate, it's actually her name there. It's her name in the spiritual language, numerology. I'm actually feeling bad for saying that because you know, you shouldn't speak about numerology. That's the point. But like, these things are demonic. That's what I mean. Anyways.
There's that way as well that she can show up for people too, and how she talks. She can also talk to us through other people. Now, when I say this, I don't mean someone's getting full on possessed here, but she can orchestrate situations in our life, people that enter our life, or people that do or say something to us that we needed to hear or we needed to address, that brings up things that we are pushing aside, or traumas or confrontation that we don't.
Yes, I'm speaking about my dad, not about Hecate. Yes, my father will orchestrate everything that happens in your life. Everything that happens in your life is a miracle by my dad. Everything, even the bad things, everything works for your best interest. But my father wouldn't ever ever make you confront traumas and past confrontations and something you shouldn't face and everything like that through another person and through something he orchestrates, like to make you. Do you remember when you had done this crap back in the days? No, he's not operating like that. My dad is not operating like that. He usually just wants to um, have a relationship with you, get you to know him better, right? Make you be happy. That's how he operates. And you had the opportunity to see him very harsh with you because you have upset him very much with what you have done with me. And trust me, he's being very mild because he didn't tell me to shut my door at your face as of yet. Okay? He hasn't. I don't think he will because that's not how he operates. He's not that type of person. He's not gonna tell anybody stop talking to this person like that. That's what I'm telling you. He might say it if somebody is damaging. I'm not saying he will not say it because even in the Bible you can find what I say. It says don't say hi to that person who is not with us. Yes, he says that, but it is in very extreme situations. It has to do with your well-being. And yes, Jay, if you continue treating me like that, eventually he will tell me to do that. Because he already tells me not to talk to you, okay? And I shouldn't be talking to you right now because he told me not to talk to you. But what I'm saying is that eventually, if you continue doing that, because what you are doing is harmful for my well being, okay? You have stuck me in a cycle. He will make me stop talking to you entirely. He will take me from your life because you don't want to change. You refuse to obey him. You are disobedient and all that crap. And he's putting up with you for quite a long. He's gonna remove me eventually. That's what I'm saying. Except if you change, okay? But that doesn't mean I really wait for you to come back. I actually have really pretty much. I'm not thinking about you the majority of the day, and I'm just moving along because I have understood I did everything I could. You don't wanna come back to me. You never really liked me. You liked my imaginary version. You always expected more of me academically and personally. You never took me as I am. You didn't want me to be my authentic self. You never made me feel beautiful. You always made me feel sad and upset about being myself and ashamed. And to be fair, I can't wait for my dad to take me entirely from your life and not having to see you again or talk to you again or think about you again or do shits about you again because you are honestly have made me fed up. That's what I'm saying. And I'm bringing this in the discussion with Hecate because Hecate wouldn't treat you like Hecate, like my father is treating you. She would be very harsh with you. She would put a mirror in front of you and she would accuse you day and night. She's the accuser of the brethren, okay? And you have my dad who is a very gentle person and you treat him like that and you should be ashamed of yourself. I am definitely ashamed of yourself on your behalf because with all the messes you've made and you are almost 50, you should be ashamed of yourself with what person you have become because I am. And that's the reason why I don't want you anywhere near me, to be fair.
Or traumas or confrontation that we don't want to have, but we do. We do need to have confrontation sometimes because she will bring up situations and lessons in your life and people in your life that you need to face for whatever reason. Standing up for yourself or certain boundaries and all sorts of different things. So, with that being said, she can show up in so many different ways. She could also physically manifest.
This time we're on higher ground compared to our enemies. Did you know that you gain a damage bonus when you attack from above? Fire upon an enemy from this vantage point and see for yourself. Okay.
When she does manifest in that way, though, it's not always a full-on apparition. You might see a figure out the corner of your eye, or you know, the other week, it was strange. I saw this reflection through my TV, and it was like two green orbs that I've never seen before and I've never seen since. And I took a picture of the reflection and I said to Lauren, my friend who gets on the channel sometimes, like, oh my god, look at this. It's like Mother, because it looked like a woman holding two torches and the orbs were green.
How did you find something special when everything
Advertisements. Okay.
It's like Mother.
I have problems in all types of directions in this one, because yes, Hecate is not really manifesting like my dad is manifesting. My father is showing his full face. I've seen my dad, Sarah, for your info, I've seen my dad. I've lost count how many times I have seen my dad. To be fair, he manifests himself to me many times, in dreams, in visions. He has even come into my room face to face, and I was awake. I was under a spiritual attack from ZEUS, and he came into my room when I was 19, and he sat by my bed, and he was caressing my back while I was asleep, and I was opening my eyes, and he was sitting by me by my bed. And when I woke up in the morning, the place that he had been sitting by my body, let's put it that way, it was still like my body was still fixed around the way the place that he was sitting by me in the bed. Like he had sat and I was laying down and I was sleeping, and my body was still like in that position so that it can fit the person sitting by me, okay? And I was opening my eyes and he was there all the time, all night. I was seeing him, I saw him entering my room. He sat by me, and no, I don't expect you to believe me. I'm not saying this to make you believe me. I don't care if anybody thinks I am crazy or I didn't live that and I'm making it up. I don't give a fuck what you say. I know what I lived. And yeah, if you wanna believe such crap that you saw two orbits in a television and that was Hecate, and you are not even sure if it was Hecate, and I'm telling you that I saw the living God coming into my room and he sat by me and he was caressing my back for the entire night, and you think I am lying, okay, whatever. But the problem is I'm not taking money for my services, Sarah. You are taking money for your services. I think that can prove my point that, you know, a couple of things. I'm not judging. I'm just taking precautions because I know how you mystics always speak, how you think. I was one of you, just to remind you, before I was a prophet, I was a mystic. And because I know how you guys think, I'm just taking my precautions in here. And I'm telling you, I'm just clarifying, I'm not taking money for the crap I have said and taught in my father's name so far. My dissertation, my stories, everything I have on my channel is all for free. I haven't taken money for anything. Everything is volunteer job. Everything is for free. But you, Sarah, you say you are not even sure if you saw Hecate in your television and you are taking money for the things that you are teaching in her name. I am telling you, I saw Jesus in the flesh, that he is the living God and he sat by my bed, and I'm not taking money for what I'm saying. And I have said this story in my channel plenty of times and still I'm not taking money about that. Okay, so I'm just clarifying. I'm not saying taking money for teaching about God is a sinful act. I'm not saying that. I'm just explaining that whatever I'm saying is not for me to become a cult leader. It's not about me becoming an important person and thinking I am higher than others. I'm just trying to make people go back and worship the real God and stop worshipping the demons. That's all I care about. It's not about me. It's about the correct deity. Okay. And you were not even sure. You say you have a good connection with Hecate. If you have a good connection with Hecate, why aren't you sure if you saw her in your television and you wonder if you saw her? Because the first interaction I had with my dad, when I opened my eyes, I was asleep and I opened my eyes that night, November 2019, and I saw him in my room. He was dressed in white, and no, he didn't look like a Palestinian guy. He looked like a European guy, pretty much, because he's a Jewish, and Jewish people are not Palestinians. Just clarifying this, historically speaking, no problems with either of these people. I'm just clarifying that these people are not Africans, Arabs, or whatever, because there is a mixture. You had told us in your channel that he looked Middle Eastern and Palestinian, and no, my father is not an Arab. Jesus was not an Arab. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm explaining. As a person from a culture that had connections with the Jewish people from back in the days. Okay, that's what I'm saying here. The Jews are closer to us, like biologically, let's put it that way, than they are with the Arabs. Just saying here. Even the law confirms what I'm saying. They have no connection with them. They are not Arabs. They are not Palestinians. The Palestinians are Arab people. They are another tribe. Let's put it that way. I'm explaining biology and history here. Nothing beyond that. Love to every person in the world, regardless. But you had said that you had seen him as a Palestinian. No, he's not a Palestinian. That's what I'm explaining here. Yeah, I saw a guy, a white person, obviously, and I understood whom I was looking at, and I said, "Hi, Dad." That was all. And he came and he sat by me. That was it. And he told me, "Go to bed." That's all he said. He said, "Go to sleep, go to bed." The thing that he always tells me. And I don't expect anybody to believe me at this point. I don't give a crap if you believe me or not. But the point is, that's what I'm saying. I saw his face and I knew I'm seeing my dad. I didn't question who the fuck I am seeing, because I think I can distinguish with who my father is. I think I can do that. And you definitely can't say if she's your mother, and I can help you here. She's not your mother. That's all I'm saying. And who's your mother? Jesus is your father. That's all I'm saying. And no, he's not gonna burn you anywhere if you don't believe it. I'm not saying that. I don't have such theology in me. I don't believe that. Okay. I'm not teaching that things. These things probably. Yeah, I'm not teaching that thing. No. Let's continue.
It's like mother, because it looked like a woman holding two torches and the orbs were green. And now I'm putting the pieces together because that happened. Something else happened to me personally, where I had to use my red flame and it went green. If you know what that is, you know. If you don't, it's fine. Now I'm putting the pieces together.
Okay, Sarah, I don't like the attitude. I don't like the attitude. So, if you know, you know. If you don't, that's fine. What's that, bestie? Are you hiding stuff from others because you are initiated? I don't like that crap. Let me hear again what you said. So, because you didn't explain what you are talking about from the spirit world, I can explain everybody that hears me what you are saying, because I don't like people hiding bullshit.
He was so terrified. And I said to Lauren, my friend, who gets on the channel sometimes, like, oh my god, look at this. It's like mother, because it looked like a woman holding two torches and the orbs were green. And now I'm putting the pieces together because that happened after something else happened to me personally, where I had to use my black flame and it went green. If you know what that is, you know. If you don't, it's fine.
Her black flame turned into green.
It's like mother, because it looked like a woman holding two torches and the orbs were green. And now I'm putting the pieces together because that happened after something else happened to me personally, where I had to use my black flame and it went green. If you know what that is, you know. If you don't, it's fine. I'm thinking of that. See, so she's dropped the seeds.
I don't know what the fuck she talks about. Because I'm not a primitive pagan. I'm not an ex-pagan. Okay. Colors don't mean anything that important. Like if the black turned green. I don't know any philosopher who would say that this means something. And Sarah, if you say I say this because I don't know, no, no. Search all the philosopher books. They're gonna say all of them. They're gonna say the same thing to you as I say. They're not gonna say anything different. Plato, Aristotle, they didn't speak about colors. They spoke about which which character am I playing as? I don't understand. Hold on. Hit him. Buying. Buy. Okay. And if I go here, no, unfortunately. Um, let's see what the pagans say because this is seriously black flame turned green. Yeah, the only thing that I know this myself too. If a black flame turns green, this is a phenomenon where copper, boron, and other metal salts contaminate the flame, causing it to emit a green light. As the metal ions are excited and release energy, that's what I know as well. I know that green is the positive energy color, and that's why you see it in many stuff like green light. For example, why they use this color? That's from primitive paganism, pretty much. Um, I wanna take the coin. Where's the coin? Thank you. Okay. Um, so hit the crab head here and go here, here. Okay. Um, but no, it doesn't mean anything. And Sarah, the fact that you're not saying what it means, it just proves my point that it doesn't mean anything. Otherwise, you should say it, because that's not nice. That's not nice. If you don't have anything to say, don't throw stuff like that to make yourself appear better. That's not nice. Just say it. If you don't have anything to say, don't speak. That's what I always say. Anyways, uh, yeah.
What that means, I'll try and explain briefly, is that I needed more protection, basically. Let's see, so she's dropped the seeds. What that means, I'll try and explain. If you know what that is, you know. If you don't, it's fine. I'm thinking of that. See, so she's dropped the seeds. What that means, I'll try and explain briefly, is that I needed more protection, basically. So there you go. That's different ways she can show up, okay?
So your black flame turned green because you wanted more protection. That's that's not. What the heck? No, no, no. If Zeus would like you to know that you need more protection, he wouldn't be telling you through black flame turning into green. That's not something intelligible in my culture. If this is something you have borrowed from another culture that I'm not familiar with, that's okay, but that has nothing to do with Greek culture. Green color doesn't mean protection. Okay, if we have to say that it means something, then it means correct, pass, like positive energy, pretty much. It's like the reason we have it as green light in the traffic, that's the reason it's pass. But apart from that, even I google it, doesn't mean anything, especially in my culture it doesn't mean anything. That's why I am lost for words. You say it means protection. No, 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 no.
So when I am on a video, and if I ever say, heck, it said this, I don't
Sarah, if your flame turned green, it's because of what I read to you about science, nothing beyond that.
basically. So there you go. That's different ways she can show up, okay? So when I am on a video, and if I ever say, heck, it said this, I don't literally mean she dropped in for a chat. She didn't ring me up, and she didn't say it like Sarah XYZ. It's little hints. And it's up to me to pick up on it, and I get better at picking up on it the more I do it, the more I practice, the more I do readings for others, as years progress. So for you listening, if you're new, you might be shit at this, okay? I was once, okay? But give it on it, the more I do it,
Okay, so you say that she's not ringing you to talk to you directly. Okay, I knew that already. I said that already on my channel. Can I lower this down a little bit? Let's go a little bit step by step into
so
it.
there you go. That's different ways she can show up, okay? So when I am on a video, and if I ever say, heck, it said this, I don't literally mean she dropped in for a chat. She didn't ring me up, and she didn't say it like Sarah XYZ. It's little hints.
Okay, so you say what I said. She doesn't talk to you in an audible voice. My father talks to me in an audible voice. I hear him. It's not hints that he's giving me. He's talking to me directly. Yes, he's saying, you said Sarah XYZ. Yeah, this is how he talks to me. Helga XYZ, that's why he talks to me. He's a very fun guy. He's a very interesting guy. He's nothing like that. What you portray to be as Hecate. Hecate, that's her name. Um, where should I go? I don't understand. Fuck. Um, so yeah, as I said, this is how my father is talking, and I knew that Hecate is not talking to you like that, and just because you are a British, she's never gonna talk to you in any better manner than that, because if you were like a Greek, she would talk to you better. What else? What else? If you if you were a Greek, she wouldn't tell your name, obviously. I've clarified this. That doesn't mean just because you're a Greek, she would call your name. She doesn't do that crap. But even if you were a Greek, she would be telling you full sentences, as I said. And yeah, they will still be vague and nonsensical, but you are speaking still about hints you are taking, and and that proves my point that she's not talking. And how can you be sure about anything about her when you are trying to go better and better and better? I never had to try to be anything for my dad. He is just serving everything on a plate, and that's the true meaning, because he's a deity and I can never be the same quality as him, and he's doing always the extra mile for me. And that's how a parent should be for a child. When a child is young, they can't feed themselves, they can't put themselves to sleep, they want to listen to a fairy tale, a lullaby, um, anything. If you have everything to rely on your father and your mother, and you say yourself that Hecate, she's not somebody you can rely on. And I'm picking up your accent, I'm calling her Hecate. That proves that she's not really your mother. Your mother would go to extreme lengths to take care of you, and Hecate is not doing that with you, bestie. She doesn't have any such interest, because she's not your mother. She's having you just to do her job and nothing more. You shouldn't give her any glory. My father deserves the glory because he's always there for me, whether I do something correct or not. He's never like that. He's just happy I am with him, and that's all that matters to him. Nothing beyond that. And yeah, it's just very upset for me that you know that you don't know Hecate deeply, and you say it, and still you you worship her. Like, what are you worshiping? You're worshiping an idea, and you don't even know deeply who she is. And you are talking with a person who knows her deeply. Trust me. I was with ZEUS for about 20 years. I knew him since I was 6, and I quit him when I was 19. And he's he's a very horrible person to be around. He's not interesting. He doesn't have anything to offer you. He only talks about himself. He's very self-absorbed. He doesn't exhibit any love. He doesn't exhibit any self-sacrificial qualities like my dad is exhibiting. I have absolutely no reason to worship this person. And you worship her, and you have no idea who the fuck she is. That's what I'm saying. And you can't do better than that. That's what I'm saying. Anyways, continue.
XYZ. It's little hints, and it's up to me to pick up on it, and I get better at picking up on it the more I do it, the more I practice, the more I do readings for others, as years progress. So for you listening, if you're new, you might be shit at this, okay? I was once, okay? But give it time, have patience, keep going. If you've ever listened to my tarot lessons on my membership and Patreon, one of my tips is journal everything. I've done it since day dot. I still do it now. Journal, journal, journal. And then you can look back and see where you're going wrong, where you're going right. Is there anything you need to pick up on? Symbolism. And you can also see how much you've improved, how much your intuition's getting better. Journal your readings, journal your experiences. But keep a note, okay?
I am very much like you, Sarah. I am using my journal, but I'm not using my journal for the same reason that you are using it. I'm using my journals to always remember what my dad is telling me, because I don't want to forget our interactions. I had forgotten many of our interactions since I was a kid, and I don't want to do that again. And that's why I'm writing everything down in my journals. I have many diaries where I am just writing what I am discussing face to face with him. And as I said, yeah, him saying Helga XYZ, him ringing his phone. You said she didn't ring me. He's ringing me all the time. And I will show you a keyboard that I have, because the reason I'm doing the video is not to bash anybody. I'm just explaining So you go back to my dad, all of you. Can you see this here? This is my keyboard. It came to me the other day in my Kika keyboard. This is the app that I have. I am also very much dark shit lover like you, Sarah. I was an emo when I was a teen. I was dressed up. Yeah, I know many people don't believe it when I tell them. I was an emo. I was dressed up in skulls, black and pink. I was listening to trap. I still do sometimes. I was a very extreme person. I still am. Just look like Barbie now outside, not like an emo anymore. But I still have the qualities, and I am a lover for slasher films like Jason, Freddy Krueger, um, like I like black comedies, dark humor comedies. I love that type of film, and my father is playing with me a game. Like my favorite holiday is Halloween, and I tell all the time I love Halloween in this channel. Okay, let's see how the story goes. Aha, so you are the other half of the Fable duo, Mario and Louis, Lyle, Llewellyn. Well, all the same, welcome. Llewellyn was the name of Safiya from the Life is Strange. It's battle cleared. And as I was saying, my father is playing this game with me, and he says I am the Grim Reaper, Helga, and I killed the firstborn in Egypt. And I say, yeah, okay. We have now Luigi. I usually prefer to play with these characters, so I will stay as we are because they are easier for me to navigate. Anyways, as I was saying, Sarah, he's playing the game with me, and I saw the keyboard that you saw. That was obviously Scream. I haven't watched his movies. I would like to though. I didn't have the chance yet, as of yet, and so there's not a button you can press, right? Okay, a button. Okay. So, and I saw the keyboard because the keyboard is in my colors, the colors that I had when I was an emo, pink and black. And I told him the discussion is somewhere on my channel. You can find it when this happened. I said, "You madman!" This is how I call my dad. Did you make me see that keyboard and have it for you? And he said, "Yes," because that was him. That was him. Like, I will show you. That's my dad, the Grim Reaper, Scream, calling me with pink hearts and black font and saying, hang up, or no, you hang up. It says, no, you hang up. I don't know if you can see it. It says here, oopsie. It says, no, there, here says, no, you hang up. It's just faded. I'll just leave it here so you can see it. No, you hung up. So it is him calling me and telling me, no, you will hang up first and then I will hang up. And yeah, my father is ringing phones, Sarah. He is joking. He is giving such signs. And yeah, I know Hekati is not doing that.
Readings, journal your experiences, but keep a note, okay? Anywho, I hope that helped.
Okay, that was your video then. Okay, I will see if you have anything more, so hold on a second. I just wanted to play a little more. Okay, so I found this video by Sarah again, and Sarah, I'm not putting you in the pedestal, sister. I'm just explaining because you are very good in paganism. You are a very skilled pagan witch. I'm just using you to explain my shit for my subscribers, for my ex who. Just to tell you the cup of tea here, just to spill the tea, my ex knew that I was initiated because I had given him signs that I had been involved in all that crap. He was my dissertation supervisor and he was taking all my crap where I was saying stuff that you say, and I was telling him this and that as you do, and he was telling me stop saying this ontological shit. Yeah, what you are saying is ontological shit for my ex, and he was telling me to reference scholars when I was saying exactly what you say, and I think I have proved that I know what you are talking about. And yeah, we broke up because he couldn't handle that I am a mystic. I don't know what was the problem with him. I didn't noose him. He dumped me. Whatever. Okay, whatever. I don't mind. That's why I'm doing the lessons, because I figure out he's here and he's watching me. His aura. I read his aura. That's what happened. And basically, yeah, I'm explaining to him how this works because he didn't have the ears to listen to me the other time. I had given him many stories where I had said explicitly that I was talking with ZEUS, and he chose to ignore what I was saying because he's a craphead, and that's why we broke up, because he didn't want to listen. And now that he apparently wants to listen, I'm just explaining from the internet. Yeah, I read his aura, isn't that crazy? My father Yahweh told me that he's watching me. He gave me his aura and he said, Helga, he's watching you. Yeah, he came to me and he told me like that. Anyways, Sarah, you made a video, and that's the video. Oopsie. You made the video. Is this why Zeus was afraid of Hecate and Nyx? So I had explained the other day that Zeus was never afraid of Hecate. He was respecting Hecate, because the verb fovame, fovu in Greek, fear, doesn't mean fear as we say in English. It means respect. He didn't get afraid. He wasn't scared, even worse, by Hecate. I have to charge my camera. He was not afraid of her. He was respecting her. Why? Because she helped him do his bullshit in the Titan war against his father. That's why he respected her. And sorry for the black font. I will put something here so you can see. Hope I have a good setup, because my camera has the cable from that side, the left side. It should be from the right because the cable is not very long. Okay, anyways, so what the fuck am I going? I don't know. I've lost. So he doesn't know how to do many stuff, so that's why we can't move the blocks. Anyways, let's continue. So, hold on a second. Fuck, I forgot to press the record button. Hold on a second. Quit. I will start again. So let's say again what happened here. I was listening to the new video of Sarah. Let's start from here.
Titans, I mean, they weren't
I placed a new cable which is 2 meters long, and I had forgotten about it because I'm obviously a professional YouTuber. And now we are listening a new video, and I will do it until I get tired or whatever, and I will continue tomorrow with it. Okay, so let's start. She's talking about ZEUS, as I said.
obscure, really, but if we look at it through...
Okay, let's go back.
If you want to join, hit subscribe. Patreon, I'm teaching on there, we've got a community on there, we're going through a path working, lots going on. So, yeah, go check it out. Thanks. So, Zeus, king of the gods, the all-powerful Zeus, scared of two relatively obscure titans. I mean, they weren't obscure really, but
I don't think
if we look
Nyx is a titaness. She is a primordial deity of the Greek pantheon. Okay, let's look on Google. Η Νίξ αναφέρεται ιδιαίτερα από τους αρχαίους Έλληνες ποιητές, αλλά η μεγάλη σημασία της στην ελληνική μυθολογία υπερβαίνει τα απλά λογοτεχνικά πλαίσια. Okay, Nyx is referenced specifically by the ancient Greek poets, but her great importance in Greek mythology is even more than simple literature areas. Η Νίξ ήταν κυρίαρχη, αρχαίγονη και κοσμογονική οντότητα, την οποία σεβόταν και φοβόταν ακόμη και ο ίδιος ο Θεός Δίας. Can you see here is the word fear? Σεβόταν, respected and feared. Και φοβόταν. Φοβόταν doesn't mean scared, it means respect. It's another verb to say respect in Greek. That says σεβόταν και φοβόταν ακόμη και ο ίδιος ο Θεός Δίας. This is something you see even in the Bible. It says the woman should be afraid of her husband. It says η γυναίκα να φοβείται τον άντρα. That means respect. It doesn't mean scared or be afraid. That's the meaning in Greek. It's another verb to mean respect, and it shouldn't be translated as fear and afraid and scared. Even worse, being scared. Nothing like that. Okay, so it says η Νίξ ήταν κυρίαρχη. Nyx was ruling, αρχαίγονη, primordial and και κοσμογονική, and she participated in cosmogony, οντότητα, being, because she created the world, to be fair. So she was not a titaness, she was something, she was before the titans. The titans are the second like ruling force of the universe. So that was chaos, Nyx, earth, Gaia, and Eros. It really depends what mythology you are working with, because there are many variations of the story, and some say it was Nyx, Chaos, Gaia, some others say Gaia, Chaos, Eros. Most of them say Eros, and then Mera, Nichta, like day and night, were created Nyx and day, and then you had Uranus, who is the first ruler. He gave birth to Cronus, Saturn, and he gave birth to Zeus. That's how it works. So the Titans are the generation of Cronus/Saturn, not Uranus, who is also called Uranus in Latin. No, that's not that generation. It's even like it's the generation before Zeus and after Uranus. Okay. So it's like the grandson of Chaos, Saturn, Cronus, let's put it that way. the being that respected and was fearing, respected as I said it means, even και ο ίδιος ο Θεός Δίας, even Zeus, the god himself. Σύμφωνα με τη θεογονία του Ισιώδου, according with the theogony of Hesiod, η Νίξ είχε γεννηθεί από το χάος και ήταν η μητέρα των παρακάτω οντότητων. Yeah, according to Hesiod, Nyx is not a primordial deity like Chaos, she's actually a daughter of Chaos. So, η Nyx είχε γεννηθεί από το χάος, η Nyx was born from Chaos and she was the mother of these beings. Yeah. Τέκνα. Έρευος, that means like abyss. Εθέρας, that's wind. Ημέρα, as I said, day. Styx, πιθανόν. Styx, I can't translate that. Ύπνος, that's sleeping. Θάνατος, that's death. And Charodas, that's Grim Reaper. Okay. Από τον ουρανό, from Uranus, she created Lyssa. That's actually a disease. That's Lyssa is the disease that canines have with when they have much saliva and they need vaccination, and if they bite you, you will also have saliva running from your mouth, foaming. How's that called? I don't know how to call that in English. You get what I mean, right? It's the typical dog disease, Lyssa. How do you call that in English? Fuck. I will set that in a minute. So, η Νίξ αναφέρεται ως την κατέρα του Φάνητα, τον οποίο και τη διαδέχτηκε. Yeah, she's referred even as the daughter of Vanitas. I don't know how to translate him in English. She gave her ruling to her son Uranus. So, as I said, she's very archegonal, is that a word? Like very primordial, very ancient. She's even before Uranus. And Uranus is the grandfather of Zeus. So, yeah. Θα ακολουθεί να συμβουλεύει τόσο αυτόν όσο και τις επόμενες γενιές. She's advising in his ruling him and the next generations, Cronus and even more Zeus, how to create the world. Η επιρροή της οφειλόταν στις σημαντικές της ικανότητες. Her effect is because of her divination, τις οποίες ασκούσε μέσα σε μια σπηλιά. The witch divination skills she was practicing in a cave. Σύμφωνα με κάποια ένδειξη, κατά τις παλαιότερες ορφικές δοξασίες, η Νίξ ήταν η πρωταρχική δύναμη αντί του χάους. Στον Αριστοφάνη μνημονεύεται ως προϋπάρχουσα του έρωτα. According to some Orphic hymns, Nyx was the first power instead of Chaos. Yes, this is a true story, but it's very, very rare stuff. All Greece knows Chaos as the first story of creation, and this is the accepted version. It's not Nyx, it's Chaos. We know that Chaos is the daughter of Chaos, not primordial as him. We have him as the first cause of everything. Like when I was a child, yes, in Christian Greece, I was taught that Greeks knew Chaos as the first source of everything, not Nyx. Okay, and that's my culture here. Στον Αριστοφάνης is a guy that wrote comedies. He is like the tragedy poets, Sophocles, Euripides, how's that called? Forgot his name. Sophocles, Euripides, how's that name? Forgot his name. Anyways, can I find him here? I don't know. Okay, Euripides. I'm doing like I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. Aeschylus, yeah, that guy. Aeschylus, Euripides, Sophocles. These guys are the tragic poets of Greece, and Aristophanes is the comedian. Okay, so he says here about Nyx. I haven't been taught Aristophanes because we don't do comedy in Greek schools. We do only tragedies. Okay, she is called the primordial force before Eros. Okay, So Aristophanes says that she existed before Eros. That's not standard Greek mythology though. Like that's a variation of the myth, because Aristophanes is not a mythopoet, let's put it that way. He was a comedy poet. When you have to look for myths and directly how the stories are said, you don't exactly look for Euripides, Sophocles, and all these guys. For example, Euripides has a myth that says that Helen never went to the Troy. An idol went to Troy in her behalf, and so everything that happened in the Trojan War was a farce by the gods. This is a variation of the myth. This is not a standard myth. The tragedy is called Helen, by the way. We are taught this myth in the third year of junior high school when we are 14/15 years old in Greece. That's not the standard myth. The standard myth is that she went there with Paris, because you don't look for Euripides for these myths. You look for Homer and Hesiod, and Homer said that she went in the Troy, and she was the reason that Troy was destroyed. And the canon, let's put it that way, is Iliad. It's not an Odyssey, obviously. It's not Euripides. Euripides is the Wattpad. It's the fan fiction for Greece. If you wanna be truthful to Greek religion again, okay. As I was saying, yeah. In Hesiod, Eros is primordial. He is with Chaos. Eros comes after. Chaos is first, then comes Eros, and then comes Gaia. And it is very ambivalent. You have Chaos, Eros, Gaia. It's the three of them. It's the three that becomes one. As I said, numerology, Greece is for unity. One, that means three. It's a triune deity that is always referenced. Hecate is three people. Zeus is three people. It's Poseidon, Zeus, Hades, and Chaos is like Eros, Chaos, Gaia, or Eros, Gaia and Nyx, or Gaia, Chaos, Nyx. You get what I mean? So it's always three of them. You will never find four or two. We don't work in the binary, we work in the threes in Greece. Okay, so let's continue here.
Through a modern lens, everyone and their dog knows about. I don't mean to say it like that, but that's actually ironic. But yeah.
Sarah, don't be afraid to curse. I curse all the time like a pirate, like a sailor. So feel free to curse like a dog, as you said, because I'm doing this all the time. I think you have heard me cursing you all the time. This is how I speak. Feel free to curse us. I do it all the time. Be your authentic self. And just because do you know why I tell you this? Because Hecate doesn't like cursing. Don't do her crap. You hear me when I'm cursing? Do your own crap. Be your own self, as I am. Curse us. I curse you. Be your own self. Don't listen to her, okay? Continue with your video.
Everyone and their dog knows about the Olympians. Every Greek movie, like Greek mythology movie, Clash of the Titans, all this jazz, or modern take.
I haven't watched the Clash of the Titans. Is it any good, by the way? I wanted. I didn't have the time to watch it. Usually I like blockbuster shit from Hollywood. That's why I ask.
On ancient Greek.
Yeah, even if they are inaccurate, I still enjoy watching these movies.
Everyone and their dog knows about the Olympians. Every Greek movie, like Greek mythology movie, yeah. Clash of the Titans, all this jazz, or modern takes on ancient Greece.
Yeah.
Hecate, Nyx, and other titans, titanesses would be more obscure. Do you get me? And yet, for all the obscure in a modern standard, they are not.
If they omit such deities from the stories, Hecate, I'm not okay. I really need a break. I don't know. Sarah, they do it because they don't exist in the stories. They exist in hymns and smaller stories that are not part of our religion. I was a Greek. I was taught religion, ancient Greek religion in school. I was a mystic, and you told me about Hecate more stuff that I ever knew from my own country. And if you are like, because you are in a Greek soil that is primarily Christian, yes, it is Christian, but still, in its all Christianity, we know all the crap that Zeus did in the mythology, and we know our mythology. We do the first 2 years of high school, we do the Homeric poems, we do like tragedies, we do know some hymns. We are being taught them not in a pagan manner, in a history manner, in a literature manner. We analyze how our poets became the fathers of the West in that manner only. So yeah, you have told me about Hecate more stuff that I know as a Greek, and that's not because we want to eliminate her as Christians. No way. It's just that she's not that prevalent in our culture. She was never part of my culture like that. Yes, she was revered by some people. Obviously, we have Karst tablets that people were doing spells in her name, mostly in her name, because she was the deity of the not underworld, like a Chthonian deity, like she was underground. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, they were putting the spells in Greece underground in graveyards so that the deities like Hades, Persephone, Charon, they would hear it, and they were knocking the graveyards in Greece. We have them even in our museum in Acropolis. These inscriptions in tablets, like stones, and they say Chthónia Hecate, like Chthónia Hecate, κλείσει το στόμα του τάδε στην εκκλησία του Δήμου. That means in the church of the Demos, it's like council, the council church. It's like that place was the place where Greeks were gathering and they were speaking about the matters of state. The ecclesia, that means church of the council of to Demos. Demos is like a council. It's like, you know, like a council. Yeah, that, like how you say the council of Devonshire, whatever, you know. So they were gathering in that place and they were talking, and then you had somebody saying Chthónia Hecate, κλείσε το στόμα του Anaximandru, close the mouth of Anaximander, who is in the church of the council. Chthónia Hecate, obviously, like Hecate of the underground, because he's my enemy. Okay, and whether you had a good connection with her or not, she would answer your request or not. Spoiler alert, black magic doesn't work. I have said this many times in my channel. This is all for dummies, and the philosophers are always saying in their proses, like Plato, Aristotle, they have explained that this stuff doesn't work, it's for dummies. And I'm not saying that to promote the philosophers. I'm actually working against the philosophers. I'm just saying that you shouldn't be doing that because you are a witch. I'm saying you shouldn't be doing that. And even Plato, who was working for Zeus, acknowledged that these things don't work and they are bogus. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
Not in a more ancient standard, and also in the broader scheme of things. So why would he be afraid of them anyways? Who are these people? What is this about? So, well, if you're here, you'll probably know I worship, venerate, work with Hecate. She's one of my main goddesses.
Okay.
I have a lot of videos about her, like over 100, if not more. And essentially, she is, well, if you look her up, yeah, it said she's a goddess of witches and witchcraft, but actually, she's a goddess of the threshold, of the liminal space.
Yep.
That is a lot. So she rules over, crossroads, gateways, doorways, the in-between spaces of things, including life and death, and including the aspects of death and the aspects of life. So like being a psychopomp, which is ferrying the dead to the other side, and being a midwife, essentially helping life come forth. She ruled over justice, she ruled over things to do with your health.
I'm just explaining to you because I hear you speaking all of this stuff. All the things that you say are attributes for Zeus, and why I say that is because what you describe is Zeus. You have said many times that he's your patron god. You worship Zeus in a female form. That's what I'm explaining to you, darling. And obviously she was not gonna tell you that because you are a British. She was not gonna tell you stuff that like that. She's not that's not the way she works. Okay. um so what I'm saying here is that um like you say she's the she's ruling over justice. That's something Zeus is doing. You say ruling over death. That's something Zeus is doing. In the Iliad he says, if I take you and put you to Tartarus, you will not be able to escape. No mortal will be able to save you. He says this even to his wife Hera, who is a deity. He wants to kill Agamemnon directly in Iliad, and he almost succeeds this, and he's only stopped by Hera. Okay. Amazon delivery knocked my door, and I don't know what I had left my video. I had said that what you describe is actually what Sarah describes is actually Zeus, and yeah, she was not gonna tell you, Sarah, that she's Zeus, but I'm telling you because you had said he's your patron god. He is the guy that you describe. He has power over death. He can send you to your doom. Even in the Iliad, he is the guy that tries to kill Agamemnon in every instance. He has power over death and grave and life. Everything comes from his hand. Every deception. He wanted Agamemnon directly to die. It wasn't something that he involved Hecate with. Okay. And you definitely don't see the deities like a Greek would see them. We don't see them like that when we are pagans in Greece. We have a more collective ideas about them. Okay. And you can read the philosophers for that, especially Plato. You can also read Aristotle about that, but he's more on the logic spectrum. I can see that you're more a literature slash poetic person, so Plato is gonna work better for you if you wanna see what I'm talking about. I'm not telling you anything to go deeper into the occult. I'm just telling you stuff that can help you understand what I'm saying. I'm explaining all that crap so people will stop worship these deities. I'm not saying this crap to make people worship these deities. That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you crap here so you can go and worship my dad. That's what I'm doing, okay? Let's go back here.
Is ferrying the dead to the other side, and being a midwife, and including the aspects of death and the aspects of
what
the goddess of the threshold of the liminal space. That is a lot. So she rules over, crossroads, gateways, doorways, the in-between spaces of things, including life and death, and including the aspects of death and the aspects of life. So like being a psychopomp, which is ferrying the dead to the other side, and being a midwife, essentially helping life come forth. She ruled.
That's all what Zeus is doing in the mythology, though. That's all in the Homeric. That's all in the Homeric.
Over justice. She ruled over
Zeus.
Things to do with your health, because essentially being this goddess of the liminal, even in the Hellenic guys,
If my readings are accurate, that's a chained tomb. It may be asleep now, but as soon as it senses our presences, it will wake up eager to bite us. Or one of those enemies. Really, a chained tomb doesn't discriminate. It will just zero in on the closest target. The good news is that the chained tomb will only charge once we have completed our turn. Okay. Okay.
things to do with your health, because essentially, being this goddess of the liminal, even in the Hellenic guise only, she had a say in everything, because if we
she's a Greek goddess. Now I'm not gonna become a patriot because I couldn't care less who wants to have a demon deity as their own deity for their country. My country is a Christian country. I couldn't care less to defend a demon deity. So if you wanna call her British, if you wanna call her Babylonian, I don't know, do it. I don't care, and I can reassure you, no Greek cares about that either. We all only care about Jesus, who is our deity. But if you want me to be accurate, she is not a Hellenic guy's deity. She is a Greek deity, full stop. As I always say in these videos, Greek gods operate better in Greek soil. I'm not defending their Greekness because I am a patriot. I don't care about that bullshit. My homeland is the universe. I don't care about that. I'm just explaining the facts here, bestie. She is a Greek deity, 100%. And no, bestie, she had not a saying anywhere. The first and last word in every decision in Greek myth is coming from Zeus. Do you want me to prove that? From the myths themselves. Read Homer. He wanted to kill Agamemnon. He was saved last minute by Hera, and yet he tried again and again and again to kill him. And Agamemnon knows throughout Iliad that Zeus is trying to kill him, and Hera tries to stop that by deceiving him with Poseidon, his brother, and she has done this in the past. Why she's doing that? Because Zeus has the first and last word everywhere in the myths, everywhere. When they have the council, I think that's in book 10, I think in Iliad. I'm not quite sure because I'm using the Greek system. They have a council. The Greek gods have a council in Iliad, and Zeus says, if anybody again tries to interfere in my plans, whoever they are, I'm gonna put them into Tartarus and nobody will be able to save them. And he stops being that aggressive because his favorite daughter Athena talks to him and he calms down a little bit. You get what I mean? He's not the type of deity to calm down just because a Hecate has a saying in everything. No, she doesn't have a saying anywhere. He is the central figure, and all you say about her is actually Zeus. You just know her in female form. I'm just making an assumption here. I think that he is manifesting himself in a female form to you, and you think that she is a woman. Yes, she has these attributes that you give me in the Greek pantheon, but what you describe is Zeus through and through. It's not from the Greek hymns, it's not from the Greek mythology what you're describing. I make an assumption here because he used to be my deity. He manifested himself as Yahweh to me because he knew that I'm very, very devout with my dad, and he deceived me by playing my dad. Okay, I think he's playing the woman to you, bestie, because he knows you like female and divine feminine and shit, and he is giving you himself in a female form so you worship him because he is a parasite pretty much. He manifests, he transforms himself into an angel of light in whatever we want him to see him. We don't know his true form pretty much, let's put it that way. We see him as he manifests, and he manifested as my father, okay? And I'm telling you all this crap not to dismantle your theology. I'm trying to set you free, okay? Let's continue.
Because if we think about what is a liminal space, it's a space in between.
Fuck.
So it could be literal like a doorway or crossroads. It's more symbolic like life and death, but also it could be like the shadows. It could be, if we zoom it right into the atoms of things, like she is the fabric of reality. Essentially, she's a personification of the glue that holds everything together.
Okay, that's the matrix. That's the pagan idea that you you live in a parallel dimension, and it's not like the true dimension, and the true world is outside of the sphere. I'm not gonna discuss pagan bullshit in here. Anyways,
That's how deep it can get. And even in her Hellenic guise, I think they had an understanding of that, because if you look Hecate up, she's got so many.
bestie, you keep saying that. We didn't have an understanding in Greece. Stop appropriating my culture. That's appropriation. That steps a little bit beyond the I'm not understanding my shit. That's actually appropriation here. Don't appropriate my culture. It's my culture, okay? She is the deity of my culture. We were elected by these deities. Hesiod was our father. He was the Greek version of Moses, pretty much. He was selected by Zeus himself to say how the world was created. We are the golden children, pretty much, we Greeks, of the pagan gods. Whether you like it or not, it doesn't matter. This is how it works. He will always speak better to us because we are his golden children by default, because of our DNA. Yes, it is very bad. Yes, it is very narcissistic, psychopathic. I don't disagree that it is. I'm just explaining how it works. But don't say we had an understanding. No, bestie, you have an understanding because you are British. We have the full revelation from these deities, and this will always be until my father puts this person in the lake of fire and he burns forever. Until then, we will always be his golden children because he has picked us to be his, like, oracles, okay? So no, don't say we had an understanding. No, 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 no. You have an understanding. I have the full revelation. Okay, and you have to accept that. If you wanna, you have said you respect other cultures. Okay, and you always hear somebody who comes from this culture. Okay, if you wanna be truthful to your words, acknowledge that Hecate appears only in this name with these attributes in my culture. Her name is Hecate. It's not Hecate. It's not whatever you wanna pronounce it. I'm gonna be very strict here because you're appropriating my culture. Her name is Hecate. Nothing beyond that. Not Hecate. Not Hecate. It's Hecate. Okay, she's a Greek deity. If you want to worship her in the Greek manner, you have to become a Greek. You can't say we understood her somewhere in the middle. No, we understand her way better than you do, and you have to respect that if you want to worship her and you want to be part of this religion. You have to respect the Greeks because they are the golden children of these deities. So now, if you think that this is a bad thing, what I'm saying, and this is comes off like us patriotism, nationalism, like very racist even, yeah, I don't disagree. In the entire video, I'm telling you, stay away from these deities. I'm not saying that I agree. I'm not saying that I worship them. I'm telling you the facts. But you can't claim my country's deities who are treating my people as golden children that we don't know, because that steps in a territory that I have to label as false prophecy. Because when you say that you know better Hecate, when you don't, and you then talk about my dad and you say that my dad is this and that, you mislead people, and that's very bad. That damages my father, okay? And that's why I have to be strict and severe here. And sorry, I'm drawing the line in here. If you wanna respect Hecate, you can't say openly on the internet that Greeks knew something, like they had an understanding even in Greece about her. No, you have to respect the Greeks like they are your idols. You have to respect us like we are your kings, and you have to have like a reverence for the Greeks, because even in modern Greek standards, the philosophers Homer, Plato, Aristotle, Hesiod, all these people are part of our, like, saints, pretty much. Like, even Christians call them saints. And I'm not saying I agree. I'm not saying I agree. I'm giving you facts. If you wanna be part of our religion, you have to respect us like we are part of your sainthood, not put us in the pedestal like that and like in the nosebleeds and say I know my deity is better than the Greeks. No, bestie, no, bestie. That's appropriation, and you are stepping way away from that. And you know what? Because you are a British, I'm not gonna be very aggressive, but because you have colonized, your country has colonized the world, that comes off very aggressively here, and I have to point this out. You can't claim other cultures like yours. Be careful here, don't misstep like that, because I know you are a good person. I'm just pointing you out your flaws so you go back and fix that. I'm not trying to make you feel shame. I'm just explaining, and my key discussion here is not to shame you, is to show you to stay away from Hecate and all these deities. I'm not trying to make you worship them in the correct manner. I'm just explaining to you how my religion from my country works, and I'm trying to take you away from them. That's what I'm saying, okay? But let's move forward here.
She's got so many epithets that rule over so many different things. She's got domain in so many different things that it's like,
No, that's
of
true.
course,
That's
for all
not true.
she's overlooked by modern culture.
No,
You know, it's normally
no.
Zeus and the Olympians that are talked about the most.
Yeah, because this is my culture. My culture is all about Zeus, because we are a patriarchal society. These deities are my deities. They are not overlooked by Western lens. The West interprets, if they do that, because I don't know, if they do what you say, it's the correct way of seeing the myths, because Zeus is the father figure of Greece. He's the equivalent pretty much of Yahweh of the Hebrews. He is the direct like equivalent. He's Baal from Babylon, okay, from Canaanite pantheon, okay. Marduk, that's the name. Marduk is the name. Baal is the title, it means Lord, and Zeus is the Greek equivalent of this deity that is in the Old Testament. And no, the culture is only specifically patriarchal. There is nothing feminine about to talk about in Greece, okay? That's completely wrong. And if the Western society portrays Zeus to be like the father deity or anything like that, then I agree wholeheartedly with this. Yeah, this is how it worked in Greece, and yeah, I agree totally with that, if this is the case. So I don't know, where should I go? Should I go here? There.
She's much more than that.
No,
Even if she
no.
normally just appears as a side character in modern depictions of her.
She is always a side character. She doesn't exist in any story. Find me a story where Hecate is present. Is she present in the Theogony? No. Is she present in the Homeric? Do you find her name anywhere in the Homeric poems? No. Do you find her even anywhere in the Wattpad versions of the stories, in the tragedy poets, in the comedy poet, Aristophanes? Do you find her in the Pseudo-Apollodorus? No, you don't. You don't find her anywhere. Why? Because she's nothing in Greek paganism. She was a deity that some witches worshipped, and let me tell you, this happens all in the country of philosophy. The philosophers looked down upon people like you. They thought that you guys are lunatics for doing witchcraft. They didn't promote it. They thought that it is crazy. It is crazy to believe in science, to believe in dreams, and that God speaks only through mathematics. And I'm not saying I agree with all that crap. I say it again because I'm sure one day somebody will tell me, Helga, you agree that God talks through mathematics? No. I'm not talking with this deity anymore. My father is Yahweh. I don't. I'm just explaining how it works because I'm an ex-mystic and I know that, okay? And Plato made fun of people like you because he thought you have to be crazy to talk with a deity that worships magic or that is showing dreams to you and communicates to you through dreams. And this is offensive even for me, bestie. That's what I'm telling you, because my father deity talks to me through dreams, okay? And he has inspired Harry Potter, so I understand if you feel offended, but this is how my religion works properly. And if you wanna be a proper pagan, you have to do what Plato and Aristotle did, okay? That's what I'm saying.
Appears as a side character in modern depictions of her. She was not a side character, let me tell you.
If she was not a side character, name me a myth where you find her in the Greek pantheon. Name me a myth, because I don't know any myth, and I am a Greek. Where did she appear last time? In what myth? What myth was Hecate part of, and I don't remember her? That's what I'm asking you.
You. But this sums up her personality to me because she's so powerful, yet she doesn't ask for much.
She is so powerful and we don't even know she exists. Okay. Look, I'm not trying to be bashful, but I'm very bitter with your deity because she has done a lot of crap to my life, and no, she's not that powerful. She wishes to be that powerful, but as I said the other day, my father is way better than her. That's what I'm saying. Okay, can I fire at this guy? I think they will kill me this time. Chain chomp. Okay. Ah, okay. Thank you, Chomp Chomp. Oh my god, I lost a character. Oh my god, I lost a character. I don't know what to do here. Okay, let's fire.
He doesn't, she never did. She doesn't need people to praise her on high and make all these epic stories about her and things, although I think she deserves that personally. She doesn't ask for it.
That, for example, now you are describing my dad. That's my dad, that's not Hecate, and that's your projection on her, that's not her. As I said, Zeus has all these stories about him and his achievements and how he defeated his father and all that crap. And you speak about Hecate, and she's not even present in our myths. And you're describing my dad. My dad is that type of person who doesn't like taking glory like that. And as I said, if you tell people that you know better Hecate than me, who am a Greek, and I am the golden children of these deities, okay, I'm also an Athenian, as I said. If somebody hears you and then hears you that you say that she is so tolerant, she doesn't want to be glorified and stuff, people will start to think that my father is worse than Hecate, and that's the other way around, and that's bad. That's not good. Not good. Not good. Not good for my dad. Not good for my dad, because as you said, she deserves the glory. I will say the same thing for my dad, because in contrast with Zeus, who has pulled a lot of crap in my life and has tried to kill me and all that jazz, as you say, my father has tried to save me many times from him, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my dad. Oh, broken bridge ahead. I guess we need to find an alternative to continue our path. I'll play this last uh, chapter here because the video will get enormously big and I won't be able to edit it, so I will only play this one, okay, and I will continue the video tomorrow.
She doesn't need it. So because she's so powerful, she had dominion over everything, it was natural for Zeus to be like, okay, we've got to have her on side. Think of Zeus. He took power from his father. His father Kronos, the god of time, the god of Saturn.
The god of Saturn. See, that's what I mean when I say it's my culture and I have to defend my culture at some point. Saturn is Cronus. Cronus in Latin. Roman Empire took our culture and they translated our crap in their language. It's not different person, it's the same person. Greeks were incredible astronomers. They were taking astronomy and they were assigning names of the deities to the planets according to their spirituality. So the further planet was the further back in time deity. So Jupiter is Zeus because he's far away and a very big planet, and even today he's the biggest planet in our solar system. Saturn is the planet behind Jupiter. He's the last planet a Greek could see back in the days with the naked eye, and he is the name Cronus in Latin. He is the father of Jupiter. Jupiter in Latin means Zeus. He is not the god of Saturn. He is Saturn. He is Cronus. Saturn is the same person. Don't I say all the time Cronus or Saturn, whatever name you choose to say? Okay? Like, that's how you call his name. It's not the god of Saturn. Come on. Come on. And I'm not angry about precision here. I'm just explaining because then you come here, Sarah, and say that she is tolerant and she doesn't want glory in her name. If she doesn't want glory in her name, why is she pressuring you to have that YouTube channel in her name, the Omilia, Ekati Omilia, the one that you have put? Alright? Why you do that if she's not pressuring for glory? Obviously she does that. My father is the one who doesn't want that glory and he wants to be discreet with all that he does. Okay? That's why I'm speaking about appropriation here. Alright?
Her on side. Think of Zeus. He took power from his father. His father Kronos.
That was an 8-inch bubble wand in our world. Now it's 80 feet. We'll have to bring over a burrito next time. Okay.
God of time. It was natural for Zeus to be like, okay, we've got to have her on side. Think of Zeus. He took power from his father. His father Kronos, the god of time, the god of Saturn. He was a god of many things as well, but he was threatened by his children. This is obviously from the myths. Because his own father destroyed some of his children, siblings. Kronos thought, okay, I need to get ahead of the game here because prophecy states this will happen to me too. So I'm sure he had to kill his own father. Kronos then thought, right, I'm going to kill my children. So he ate his children, he consumed them, and the symbolism in that too, because it's like he wanted to consume their power. He wanted to embody everything about them. So his children were the Olympians. Zeus is the youngest technically, but Hera, Hestia, Hades, Poseidon, etc. Yep, he ate them. Zeus being the youngest, his mother hid him away, and he was raised on Crete apparently, and he was raised in secret, and he rose up in the Titanomachy and fought his own father, his I nearly said children, his siblings escaped from their father, and they all fought. It was Clash of the Titans, literally. The Titanomachy, Hecate didn't choose a side. For all she's labelled as a Titaness, she didn't choose a side. See, the Titans were personifications of things. They were the older gods, and if you think of it like a family tree, we start off with Chaos, who then births Gaia, and I think it's Uranus first, and then she births the next generation, and then so on. It goes and goes and goes. Hecate wasn't as Hecate, like one of the first. Nyx was though, which we'll get to Nyx in a bit. But Hecate was the personification of the threshold, and she was kind of this anomaly.
Hecate chose a side, okay? She chose to be with Zeus in the war, and that's why Zeus respected her If that's found in the Theogony, if Hecate wasn't fighting for Zeus, uh, let me tell you, Zeus wouldn't hesitate putting her into Tartarus as he put all the other deities, Titans, because this is what he did. He had help, and all the people who helped him win over his father, he gave them uh, this prize of being outside in the real world and not in Tartarus, okay?
Hellenic myth, she was born of Asteria and Perseus,
Yeah,
goddess of the
Asteria και
stars,
Persis, yeah.
god of rage. And she...
Persis is not the god of rage, Persis is the god of destruction. Persis is a Greek verb. His name means pertho, perso, that means destroy. And I picked his name for my false prophet character in my story that I gave you there because he is the man of lawlessness, the man of destruction, okay? His name means Perthome, Perso, Persome, Pertho, that means destroy, and I am destroyed in the passive voice, not what she says. It's not the god of rage. Rage is Orgi, nothing to do with the name Persis, okay?
embodied all these qualities. Like I say, she was an anomaly, and she stands out like a sore thumb, to be honest, because she does predate this mythos. She is much more than just Hecate, and that's obvious once you drill into it. But if we think of what was happening then, she didn't take a side. There's a reason for that. She's the goddess of the liminal. She knows and sees all. She's the fabric of reality.
Where did you find that she didn't take sides in the Titan War? Of course she did. Uh, okay. Um. Okay. Let's see here. I don't know where you find her perigraphy, phosphorus, Persis, Theogonia. Okay. It doesn't say about the war though. Okay, maybe ask. Okay. Yeah, obviously, yeah. You can find it. Even Gemini says that Hecate supported Zeus during the Titanomachy. Okay, Titanomachia. She supported him. What you say is completely false. It's not stated in the Hesiod, the Theogon by Hesiod. Okay. I'm dragging this video quite
I see her
long.
now as the creator. The Chaldean oracles sought for that. She's the goddess of the liminal.
Oops.
She knows and sees all. She's the fabric of reality. I see her now as the creator. The Chaldean oracles saw her as a creator too. But even if you don't see her as a creator, she is at the very least the glue holding everything together. And
No, that's completely. That doesn't have anything to do with my culture again. And if you wanna see her like that, maybe you have to switch pantheon because Greek pantheon venerates Zeus, it doesn't venerate her. And you have said that she is your main deity. So if he is your patron deity, sorry, he. You had said that about Zeus once, and if you see Zeus like that he is your patron god, yeah, you have to worship him like that and not make up your own assumptions about his um, attributes. Anyways, I can't find the door. I will find that tomorrow. Okay, and I don't know. Let's see here. Let's see here for a moment. Okay. I know what I do. Okay, maybe I will do that, and then I will continue. Okay.
She says goes because of that. So if a war breaks out, in general, any war, she will determine who deserves to win and who doesn't.
That is what Zeus is doing. My life. I don't even know why I discussed this. It's not even part of my religion, but why you say it's not part of my religion? Like as I said plenty of times about the like. Should I go from that side? I don't know. Okay, let's go there. Even what you say about like yeah, okay, I will go here. Even what you say about like the war, as I said earlier, the Iliad is about who will die, who will win. That was Zeus. That was something Zeus was doing. Hera put him into sleep with deception because she wanted the Greeks to win the war, and Zeus had ruled that Greeks would lose the war. He was fighting us. He had given us plague through Apollo. He was trying to kill our king Agamemnon. Can you see that you don't really understand what my religion, my country's culture is about? That's what I'm telling you. Why you say it's completely out of the storyline. She didn't have anything to do with war. Like that's something that Zeus is doing. Like I have no idea where did you read that? Like if she told you personally that and you didn't read it anywhere because there is no source for what you are talking about. If you saw that in any in a dream, or she told you that, that's Zeus manifesting as a woman to you. That's not Hecate never had this role in the stories, okay? My footage wasn't focusing just for 30 minutes, fuck my life. So I had said, but I edited that part out, that I'm gonna quit, but I really enjoy making these types of videos. And I would be speaking more about the myths if you didn't discourage me so much, and I switched and talked in the manner you would listen to me, and still you didn't listen to me because you ultimately, it didn't have to do with me, it had to do with your heart, your position of heart. You didn't want to listen to me, so in whatever manner I had decided to talk to you, you still wouldn't listen to me because you didn't want to listen to me. You wanted to listen to Fitzgerald and yourself talking through my mouth, okay? And this is part of my culture. I might not like doing philosophy. I might not like mystical stuff. I might enjoy talking about regular random stories pretty much, but it's part of my culture to talk about stories, any type of story. This is something Orthodox Greeks do, atheist Greeks do, all Greeks do that. It's part of our culture. We talk through stories. We say a story, not myths. I'm not speaking about myths. Like the parables of Jesus, like Jesus did something that it is very much part of the Mediterranean spirit and culture. It's something that the Italians do, the Hebrews do, and pretty much even the Palestinians and the Arabs do. We are very much storytelling cultures here. Mediterranean, Middle Eastern, stuff like that. I'm not only speaking about Eastern, South Europe. I think even like Northern Europe, I think is like that because they had like the Germanic mythology and shit. I think all Europe is like that, but I'm just speaking about my territory because I'm more familiar with it. So if you had allowed me to talk more about that crap, I would, because I like talking like that and teaching like that. It's part of how I am indoctrinated by my country, my educational system, that you all assholes in the uni wanted me to forget, and you want me to become an Arab, a Chinese, an English, a British, whatever, a Canadian, whatever the fuck Andrew was, okay? You didn't want me to be my authentic self, none of you, okay? You wanted me to change and become like you, and I didn't try to become like you. I tried to make you listen to me because I am your teacher. I'm not your student. I was never your student. Why? Because you never taught me anything, and I had my like my piston cups, okay, and you didn't have anything, all of you. So I didn't wanna learn anything from you. I didn't have anything to learn from you. You didn't teach me anything. I was teaching all of you because Bashir and Andrew and you and even Fiona had told me I didn't know that. Yeah, because I was teaching you, all of you, stuff and crap you didn't know because you are not teachers. None of you, all four of you, okay? Um, I'm liking to make these types of videos because I wanna correct theology and point people to my dad. That's my job, and if you wanna associate my personal life with my job, that's up to you. But you aren't the one to choose how I will live my authentic life and decide what my authentic life looks like because you see it from your lens and how you choose to live your life. That's my life. I choose to live it like that. I'm from a different culture. I'm from a different background, perspective, and tradition. And yes, I am passionate about my job, and everybody should be passionate about their job. And that shouldn't mean anything more. And even if it means more to you, say, we aren't connected, we aren't associated. If I was with you and I showed signs that I'm not a good wife, then okay, do your sins, but you haven't lived with me and you exhibit this behavior, and I would be more than glad when my dad says, that's enough, Helga, let's move to your next chapter, because you don't deserve bullshit, you don't deserve anything, okay? But I'm done with the parentheses. I want to go back to my girl Sarah because she's saying interesting stuff. Even if she says wrong stuff, she says interesting stuff, and she says the stuff that are my cup of tea. I like discussing myths and showing why the spiritual language behind them is correct, is completely wrong, and what is the correct way of seeing the myths and what is the correct way of worshipping a deity, whether it is vegan deities or it is my father. So I'm gonna do that just now. I'm gonna finish the video and then I'm gonna close the camera. I don't care if the video gets 4 hours long. I'm gonna finish the crap, and let's see what she says.
If a war breaks out, in general, any war,
I discussed that.
she will determine who deserves to win.
I discussed that.
So Zeus, at a very pivotal moment, is fighting his father and some of the Titans.
What is pivotal moment? I don't know the word. Who's that person here? The pink one. Pivotal. Κεντρικό. Okay. Vital. Okay. Κεντρικός.
He doesn't want to piss off the woman that has sway, whether he wins or loses. He also does.
No, she doesn't want to piss him off because whether Sarah, you are reading wrong the myth. Read again the theogony. The theogony is a praising for Zeus. It's not a praising for Hecate. The Muses are the daughters of Hecate. What the fuck am I talking about? The Muses are the daughters of Zeus, and they appear under the apple tree to Hesiod, the shepherd, and they tell him, Zeus, our father, the ruler of the world, heaven and earth, and the underworld. That's what it says there, Sarah. It's the first goddamn fucking page. It says that they went to him because they have a vocation to give him. That's why I always say he's very distant. He didn't come himself. He sent his daughters. You get what I mean? It's distant. And he says, I wanna tell people how the world was created, and he wants to tell people how he won the war. It's a praising poem because he was a poet from Zeus. It's a poem like given, inspired by goddamn Zeus. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Oh, that's all I'm gonna say, bestie. So you don't come and say that Hecate is the the person who inspired all this stuff. No, it's him. Yeah, it's the same deity. I say it all the time. He manifests to you as a woman because you are like you prefer that side of how's that called, methodology. I don't know how to describe it. Like, you prefer female aspects in the in the way you see stuff. Let's put it that way. For example, I prefer Old Testament. My father talks to me primarily in the Old Testament manner because I prefer that type of shit. Okay, you prefer women. Zeus manifests to you like a woman. If you want my advice, go to my dad and ask him to talk to you like he is a mother, and he will do that. He's a very easygoing guy, way better than Hecate and Zeus and all that crap, okay? But you say that he didn't want to piss her off. No. Nobody wanted to piss off Zeus because Zeus has the power to throw you into Tartarus, and that can be found in all the Homeric poems, even the Wattpad versions, as I called them, the tragedies and the comedies, okay? And even the Pseudo Apollodorus, if I call his name correctly, Pseudo Apollodoros, that's like a guy half Roman, half Greek. You got what I mean? We don't really know who the fuck he was. That's why I say half and half, because he's pseudo. We don't know who the fuck the real guy was, because Apollodoros, obviously that's a Greek name, but we don't know who the fuck they were because they signed in a fake name. So probably they could be Romans as well, the people or the person who wrote down the account. Okay. No, what you say is incompatible again with my culture and my country's religion, okay?
He also doesn't want history to repeat. So when he does seize power and he does ultimately win, he wants to make sure that he has her on side, that he doesn't cheese her off for another day and let her do her thing.
No, that's incorrect. That's out. You are saying stuff that aren't recorded in the stories, and that's quite a sinful act for you to do. I'm not giving you sin for my dad again. As I said from the beginning of this video, what I'm doing is correcting how you see the stories from my culture so that you go back to my dad. I'm not doing here anything about how to correctly worship these deities. Okay, I'm explaining this all the time. I'm explaining how my pantheon works so you go away from it. What you are doing in the eyes of Zeus, who has chosen my people as the oracles of this world, is quite a rebellious act, a sinful act. You are going against his very wishes, and trust me, if you were in Greece, he would probably want you dead, because what you say contradicts his unwritten law, contradicts what he has given our oracles in Greece. He has given specific instructions how he wants to be worshipped in the Greek prophets, let's put them this way: Hesiod, Plato, Aristotle. You have to follow these guys. You are following entirely yourself in here. You are interpreting the myths how you want them to be heard, and that's completely out of the line with Zeus. And if you were a Greek woman minding her business in Athens, Zeus would ask you to be killed for that, because you are not following what society instructs. This can be found Protagoras chapter 3. Zeus himself said to Hermes, whoever isn't following what the political virtue is talking about, and that's how Athenians practice society, politics, and religion, has to be put to death like a disease. Can you hear how severe this is? This comes from Zeus, and there I have written that down in my dissertation. What you are doing, Sarah, is exactly that. You are falling in this category. Zeus would want you to be dead according to my culture. We would have you sentenced to death and be paraded, like your body would be a sign of divine justice, like how people shouldn't behave, and especially because you are a woman and my culture is completely patriarchal, how women like me shouldn't be. Now, what is the tricky part? Yes, I say that what you say is sinful for my culture because you are putting Zeus underneath Hecate, and that's very sinful to you, for you to say, for my religion. But the downside of it is that my father doesn't see you like that. And no, I'm not gonna say here that you have to repent for Yahweh. Didn't you hear what I said? You have to repent for Zeus. I didn't say you have to repent for Yahweh. For my father, the only thing he wants you to do is go back to him, nothing more. He's not gonna say repent. If you hear people saying in his name repent, 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 or you go to hell, or you go to hell, this message is from people who know Zeus directly, okay? It's not from my dad. My dad says, come back to me, don't worship these deities because they are harmful. Nobody but a deity that is a father in the full meaning will tell you this is not your dad, this is a demon pretending to be a god, stay away from them, come to me. That's not a patriarchal view. The patriarchal view is the one that I'm telling you, Protagoras, the book of Plato, chapter 3. If you don't, chapter 3 and 4, I think, you can check it. That's the myth that Plato gave to people from Zeus himself, and he was the best mystic in the world, if you ask me, even better than Hesiod, because even Zeus called Hesiod as the oracle that lies very much because he is a shepherd. This is how he calls Hesiod. You are a liar, you are a shepherd, you shepherds lie, but I can use you for my glory. This is what he says in the Theogony. Okay, so Plato is even better than Hesiod. You have to listen even more to Plato. And Plato said exactly that. Okay, and that's what I'm saying here, bestie. That's what I'm saying here. These stories, this doctrination, like you are a sinner, that comes from paganism, doesn't come from the Bible. If you hear people saying that crap, that comes from Zeus, it doesn't come from Yahweh. Okay, and yeah, I don't know how. Do I have anything else to say in here before I continue with the game? Do I have anything else to say? That's chapter 3 and 4, as I said, and Zeus there directly says anybody who doesn't respect how the society, the political virtue is being given, because it is given to everybody, they have to be put to death as a disease. And yeah, I disagree with that because my dad doesn't say that anywhere. My dad isn't that type of person. My dad isn't a patriarchal deity. My father is a father for everybody. He doesn't have golden children. He doesn't have a hell. He is not a ruler like that saying kill them like a disease. Yes, he exhibits pagan qualities in the Old Testament, if I can say so, like sacrifice animals, sentence to death people who disobey and stuff like that. If they are this and that, stone them. Yes, because people didn't want to have him as a father. They wanted him to have him as a deity and a king, like the pagan nations around them had them. The other deities, I mean, like the Greeks, like the Babylons, the Canaanites, they wanted my father to behave like a deity. They didn't want him to behave like a friend and like a father. Like Abraham had him as a friend. Abraham didn't have him as a deity. He had him as a best friend, like I have him. Okay, my father calls him second Abraham all the time. That doesn't have a law. That doesn't have anything like that. Enoch, Elijah weren't like that. They had him as a friend. But the Israelites, the Hebrews, wanted him as a deity. So he exhibited a deity face, because this is how he could have a connection with him. It's not that he is like them. It was the only way to connect with people who didn't want to hear from him. But he doesn't share these qualities. You will never find him saying, if you don't obey my law, just die. That's not something that my dad is doing. That's something that Zeus is doing, and what you say here is sinful philosophy and his religion, okay?
Cheese her off for another day and let her do her thing, because ultimately he knows she is more powerful than him.
No, what you say, that's what I'm saying. What you say is how to. It's like a ticket for execution. If you were an Athenian, that's what I'm saying. If you were an Athenian, and I'm making a disclaimer here, anybody that listens, I'm not calling that I agree with that. I'm speaking historically about my society, about my culture back in the days. Sarah, if you were like that, you will be executed like Socrates with what you say. You are calling people to worship a different deity essentially with what you are doing. Socrates also did the same and he was executed with poison. And no, I'm not calling anybody to do that. Don't hear that in my words. I'm explaining how my culture was working back in the days and how Greek paganism works. When they heard Socrates saying, I speak with a deity, and that deity contradicted Homer and Hesiod, they executed him for treason, that he is treasonous for the Athenian society. He was forced to drink conion, that's a poison, because he was introducing new deities in the city of Athens. And that's what you are doing here. You are introducing a doctrine and a deity that's not part of the Greek pantheon. And if you were an Athenian Greek, you have a ticket with what you say to be executed under the ancient Greek Athenian law. That's what I'm saying. And that's why I'm telling you the stuff you say. I hear where you're coming from. You would be better with my dad because my dad doesn't teach that crap, okay? You would be better off with Yahweh. That's what I'm saying. And I'm making a disclaimer once again here. I'm not saying that I agree with the crap ancient Athenians were doing. Socrates is one of my favorite figures. I think he was one of the best things that happened in the world. And if you search, we had a song that was sent in Eurovision that was 1975, I think. Socrates Superstar. It's obviously Socrates Superstar. You can search it. The singer was Elpida, and we narrate, because we are Christians today, how he was sentenced to death and how he met the true God. We say that his God was the Christian God because he was executed by the pagans in his time. And we love him very much for that. We believe that he was talking with Yahweh and that's why he was sentenced to death. And that's what I'm saying. I don't say I agree with what they were saying. I don't agree with anything these deities are saying. I'm just explaining that what you say is incompatible with my religion, and it would be a free ticket for execution for you. You would be in danger with what you say, and that's what I say. Better for you because you have very good ideas about the world. That's what I see. Change pantheon, become a Christian, and worship my dad as I worship him. You don't have to go to a church. Just have the Bible and continue being your authentic self. I'm not gonna give you any instructions how to do it. Just change the deity and continue doing your life as you do it. But stop worshipping these deities. That's all I'm gonna say to you. No further instruction going to a church and doing a specific routine or anything these Christians are saying. I quit this and that for Jesus. No, bestie. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that, okay?
Ultimately, he knows she is more powerful than him.
I explained that.
But even though that's the case, she's not the power that is power hungry. And even now, I've said it before in videos, she doesn't require a lot, because she's above all of this. She doesn't require fanfare and all this jazz. Like I've already said in this video too, these grand depictions of her, it's nice. Doesn't need it. So ultimately Zeus wants her on side because of the power she holds.
No, he doesn't want her. If he wanted her to put her into Tartarus, he would. Because this is all the Iliad about. Iliad is about Zeus being just this person who threatens everybody to go to Tartarus just because he can do that. There is a myth, I'm sure you know that. He says he will put Hera into Tartarus, he says in Iliad, because he had done it before, the myth, was about her doing a rebellion against him with Poseidon, his brother, and her brother, obviously. And when he understood that, he put her up in the sky. He hung her with her breasts bared, so everybody could see her. And this is a constellation. That's a story. This is a myth. And yeah, that story shows, and the Iliad shows that he has full power over everything. That's the supreme ruler of Greece. He's the king of Greece, and that's even recorded in the Bible. It says in Daniel, the king of Greece. And the king of Greece is not Alexander the Great, as some scholars ignorantly say. He is Zeus. That's what the Bible, that's what Daniel says there. He says the name of the god deity of Greece. Okay. And Sarah, because you like women who exhibit dark traits, let's put it that way, you say Morticia Adams, you say Maleficent. My father is playing the Grim Reaper to me. Go to him and tell him to play Morticia Adams. He will be thrilled to do that. He loves doing cosplay, let's put it that way, role play. He is very funny. He will talk to you directly like I talk to you. He will play her. I'm sure he has done that already, and you are not even aware about that because nobody was there to tell you about that, because Christians are all about bullshit. Okay, go and do that with my dad. He will be thrilled to do that with you, to play a woman. I'm sure he would play Morticia Adams even in your sleep, and he would say quotes from the movies, and he will even input in this role play stuff from other movies, and he will make a full role play, and you will come to see him only as a female Grim Reaper pretty much. You don't have to see Hecate like that, because she's nothing of all you describe. You describe Zeus in female form, and as I said, what you are doing is blasphemous for my religion even. So what I'm saying here is just go to my dad. My dad will be thrilled to do that, because he's doing that all the time with me. I'm calling him because you said she's not ringing, and I said he does that. And just do that and say, yeah, I'm like, hi Yahweh, that's me, Sarah. He will say, did you call the Reaper? This is how he tells me when I call him. I say, hi dad, and he's like, did you call the Grim Reaper? And I say, no, you know. And sometimes he says, I'm not here, I'm out to reap souls tonight. I am sure you will love that, because my favorite holiday is Halloween. Just go and do that with my dad, okay? Just quit this crap, Sarah.
Wants her on side because of the power she holds. When it comes to Nyx, it's the same, essentially. I see Hecate and Nyx as kind of one and the same. They are their own women, yes, their own stories behind them, their own personalities, and I'm not saying that the ancient Greeks thought they were exactly the same or anything like that, but I am saying it through what Hecate has been teaching me, through things I've been talking about on the channel so far. I mean, I've got a whole series comparing her with other deities by her request. I just want to add that, because she is so linked, because she's that glue that holds everything together.
Hecate, Sarah, Zeus is trying to teach you with his own manner, and you are just not grasping it yet. He's trying to tell you that he's the same deity with all these people. Do you remember when you had done a video and you had said that you were worshipping another deity, and she told you, put my stuff in that temple you have, and you said that's another deity, and you said she told you, Sarah, that's me, and you were bamboozled, and you said she tricked me, I didn't know it was her. He is trying to tell you all these years, Sarah, that he's the same deity, all these people. And I know this sounds scary, but he's the same deity. He's trying to teach you slowly that he's the same deity, and he wants to be venerated like that, and you are not grasping it yet. So I'm explaining to you, you don't have to hear this liar who is like that. He's playing mind games with you. He's a spirit. He is trying to overpower you and show you that he's more how's that called, like he's more powerful than you, because he's a spirit and he can outsmart you. You don't have to do this to yourself. You are better off without him, as I always say, and you will never hear me saying anything different than that, okay?
Now, when it comes to Nyx, she is the personification of the night, and she is one of the first generations of Titans.
She is not a titaness, she's a primordial deity. She appears as ancient as Chaos, Gaia, and Eros, so she's not a titaness. She's the mother of Uranus, and Uranus is the father of the Titans, Cronus slash Saturn, etc., etc. Okay, so no, no bestie, she's not a titaness, she's even more primordial. Some stories, as I said earlier, that's not canon. I don't know, I wasn't taught this story, for example, in Greece, but I'm giving you a clue here for you. She appears as ancient as Chaos, who is the primordial entity in Greek paganism. Okay, so no, she's not a titaness. She's three generations, or two or three generations before the Titans. Okay, so no, not a titaness.
Gaia's child.
Gaia's child, exactly. She's Gaia's child, so that makes her either the mother of Uranus or the sister of Uranus. She's not a titaness. The Titans are the sons of Uranus, okay?
Is so primordial in her own right. She rules over the night time. That's something so natural that has always been there, you know. So that's why she is one of the first. But the night time wasn't necessarily what we think of it. Nyx herself is so powerful. Nyx has many children that are so powerful too. You've got the Furies, you've got Eris, you've got Morpheus. Morpheus is her grandchild, apologies. Hypnos, then Morpheus, apologies.
Okay,
You've got
corrected that.
Thanatos, Isis, so many others as well. I haven't named
Okay,
everyone, but
you
these
correct
are gods
that,
and
correct.
goddesses of pain and misery and death.
Correct.
Peaceful death, vengeful death.
Correct,
You know, like
correct.
so many things that all kind of fall under the umbrella of night. Because even though some of them aren't bad per se, it's normally things we don't want to address. Apart from Hemera, I believe, her daughter, who is the goddess of the dawn, the sun, the morning, light in that way. There's light in the darkness, there's hope in the darkness, and that in itself. Sorry, I'm doing this because I'm getting a download of Hecate right now, which kind of, she does this, helps me put things in my own understanding, which I never thought of it this way. So if Hecate has a load of different epithets, I'm not saying Nyx doesn't have epithets, but she's got epithets of, like Phosphorus, which is the morning star, which is the light. She's got heavenly epithets, she's got chthonic epithets, filthy, brimo, all sorts. I can't think off the top of my head, but she does every single one of them things. She can be chaos, she can be death, she can be the dawn, she can be anything you want her to be.
Okay, because I hear you are downloading crap from ZEUS, you said it and I can distinguish this in your voice. You are saying stuff that he's telling you to say. Sarah, he's trying to teach you, you don't understand his language because you are not a Greek and you don't have to. That's why I am here. I'm explaining to you all you need to know about him. Okay, he's trying to tell you from what you are saying and you don't listen to him, that he's the same person with all these deities that you name are him, and you fail to understand his speech. All he says, I'm translating. If you play back your video, it's the video about Nyx. Play back your video and hear what you say. It's direct speech from him. What he is telling you is that he's the same person with these deities, because you say that he is all that. Let me put it again, okay? I will tell you.
Which kind of, she does this, helps me put things in my own understanding.
Yeah, okay.
Which I never thought of it this way. So if Hecate has a load of different epithets, I'm not saying Nyx doesn't have epithets.
Yeah.
She's got epithets of, like Phosphorus, which is the morning star,
Okay.
which is the light.
Yeah.
She's got heavenly epithets. She's got
Yeah.
chthonic epithets, filthy, brimo, all sorts. I can't think off the top of my head. But she does every single one of them things. She can be chaos, she can be death, she can be...
How can Nyx, Sarah, listen what you download from her? How can Nyx be chaos and death when death is her son and chaos is her father? How can this come into existence? You say she can be death, death is her son, okay? You said it earlier, Thanatos. Thanatos is death. How her son can be herself, and how Chaos, who is her father, the primordial existence entity, be herself when she is a distinct entity. She is trying to teach you that she is the same person. That's what he says. You don't understand his speech. I'm translating to you the spirit language. He says, I am the person you are talking about. You don't understand what he says though. You think they are distinct people. They are not. They are the same person. You shouldn't be with a liar though, because he's lying. He's lying. Why should you be with a person who says I am Hecate and then he says I am Zeus and I am Chaos and I'm Death? What is all this crap about? He's not introducing himself. He's not really introducing himself. He's giving you epithets and different names and different personas, and he's cosplaying people, and you don't know who the fuck he is. He hasn't revealed himself to you. That's what I'm telling you.
The dawn, she can be anything you want her to be. She can be. Instead of it being epithets, it's Nyx's children. Kind of makes sense in that way. I hope that made sense. That's how she's put it in my head to understand. It's like, well, I have epithets. Nyx has children. Anyways.
You don't understand what she says. I can see that you are confused because you are not a Greek, and yeah, she's a liar. I'm not blaming you here. I'm not bashing you. I'm not saying that you are incompetent or anything. I'm just explaining that you don't really understand what she says. She's telling you that she is Zeus and you don't understand what she says. And you shouldn't even. I'm just explaining so I take you away from her. From her. Sorry. So I will show here how she looks like.
She can be chaos. She can be death. She can be the dawn.
She seems very confused.
Anything you want her to be, she can be. Well, instead of it being epithets, it's Nyx's children. Kind of makes sense in that way. I hope that made sense. That's how she's put it in my head to understand. It's like, well, I have epithets. Nyx has children. Anyways.
Yeah, you don't understand it. I understand. She says, how did she say again? Sorry.
His children. Kind of makes. She can be chaos. She can be death. She can be the dawn.
She's everything. Yeah. She's to be. She's to be. That's what she says.
Well, instead of it being epithets, it's Nyx's children.
Instead of being epithets, it's her children. She says she's to be. That's what she says. She says my epithets are my children. You get what I mean? When you call me by name, that's my kid. AKA, if you call me Nyx and I am Chthonic Nyx, AKA Death, I am Death, I am Night, I am to be. That's what he says. He says I am Zeus, I am to be. He's telling you what he is, who he is. He's trying to tell you his name, and you can't understand that because you are not an Athenian Greek, and you shouldn't. I say that again. You shouldn't say that. You shouldn't know that. That's completely deep and false demonic knowledge. You should stay the fuck away from that, okay? I'm telling you, I'm translating what he says, and I'm telling you, go back to my dad. And when I say go back to my dad is what he says. Come back to me. That's what he says all the time. Come back to me. He's pretending like he's like a, I don't know, like a lover or something. Like my dad's such a funny guy. Like come back, like that's like a love poem, isn't it? It's kind of creepy, I suppose. Like he says that, come back, you unfaithful bride. That's how he says. Like he's creepy. I know. He's very funny. Go back to my dad. Leave the crap out. Go to my dad and say, look, there is this weird girl that is doing her nails and cursing all the time on YouTube, and her name is Helga, and she says this and that. Is this correct? I want to know if this is correct. And just wait and see. I'm sure he will verify everything. I'm sure he will. Not because like I have like a vague faith, because I know my dad and he will do that. And if you are a romantic soul, because I spoke about romanticism here and how he says come back to me, you Jerusalem unfaithful wife, what he says in the Old Testament. If you love stories, he has plenty of them in the Old Testament. Song of Songs, Isaiah 54, I think. Isaiah 54, yeah. Ezekiel 16, Jeremiah 2nd. He has many. He has many. And even if you don't like the Bible, I can give you many books he has inspired outside of the Bible. Try Malpass the Man. Yeah, I'm talking about such books, Harlequin books. 50 Shades of Grey, Twilight, all these books, are his works, are his fabrications. Go and try them, bestie. You won't miss anything. Stop working about Hecate, okay? Don't work with this person. Work with my dad. My dad is way better. That's what I'm saying.
It's Nyx's children. Kind of makes sense in that way. I hope that made sense. That's how she's put it in my head to understand. It's like, well, I have epithets. Nyx has children.
My sensors revealed two interesting facts regarding master behavior. One, their tempers. If struck by a weapon, they will charge their attacker like a raging bull. Two, they have the stamina of a walrus after an all-you-can-eat feast fry. If you are far enough away, they stop charging. Okay.
Anyways.
And Sarah, mid video, I'm not bashing you. I'm trying to make you understand the bullshit you are involving yourself into, because this is the bullshit I was involving myself into, and I want you to stay away. I want you to go back to my dad, because I am a Greek and we Greeks are family people and we care a lot about other people, even if they are not part of our family directly.
The night is in between time, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I see Nyx and Hecate is kind of one and the same, and they've manifested very, very similar, not just for me, but for other people I've read for, who I've had on the channel. I mentioned this in a video, Hecate and Nyx, I've already compared them.
I've told you about that already. I told you that has to do with Nyx being the same person. I said that already. I'm not gonna explain it again. Let's go.
If you want to go watch it, it's on the channel,
Okay.
on that series.
Okay.
So it's no mistake that they manifest so similar, because the nighttime is in between. The ancients didn't just think of it as night, they thought of it as the space between days.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they didn't mark the passing of time the same way we do with our Gregorian calendars
Mm-hmm.
and modern ways of time telling. They would have looked at it as, right, this is the liminal between the next sunrise, and that's when Nyx was in control, and that's when a lot of things happened, like sleep is one such thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Again, this is a download that's just happening right now, but sleep, chaotic things could happen, sadness, misery at night time, death in sleep, vengeful death, like all these things happened of an evening, of an in-between, of a liminal space time.
Sarah, what you say is something he has told me too. I'm telling you here, we share mystical knowledge here, bestie. He said, did you know that... What I'm doing? Excuse me. I don't understand. What? Guys, I don't know. Whoever is here, Sarah, do I have to attack somebody? I can't see anybody. What the fuck? Send help. I don't know. Hello? Okay. I'm sleeping. Okay. I'm sleepy. Okay. I have to leave the arena and I'm sitting like a shithead and I attack everybody. I'm not okay. I need sleep. Okay. Okay. I have to leave the arena. Okay.
And death in sleep, vengeful death, like all these things happened of an evening, of an in-between, of a liminal space-time, and then her other daughter, the sunrise...
Okay, you said that bad things happen at night. He told me in the dream I had seen, if you remember. Do you know that the hour of the witch is 3 o'clock in the morning? he told me the exactly same thing, the exact same thing that you are telling us now. Okay, um, okay, darling, that's the devil. Okay, he manifests to you as a woman, and she's telling you all this crap that she's telling you. She doesn't wish you good though, because in the dream, the person who told me the exact same thing as you did right now in the video um, was the devil, because my father protected me from him, and then I had a spiritual attack. As I said, I had an attack when I woke up. I had an attack. Okay, so stay the fuck away from him. Okay.
Yes, brings it to a full circle. All these things are born of night. All these things are born of the liminal space. That's who Nyx is, and I didn't realise to put it like that until Hecate's just done that in real time. I hope that made sense, because that has blown my mind actually, and it's like fresh news to me too. I'm like,
What is
sleep,
good news to you?
vengeful death, like all these things happened of an evening, of an in-between, of a liminal space-time, and then her other daughter, the sunrise, brings it to a full circle.
Oh.
All these things are born of night. All these things are born of the liminal space.
Yeah.
That's who Nyx is, and I didn't realise to put it like that until Hecate's just done that in real time. I hope that made sense, because that has blown my mind actually, and it's like fresh news to me too. I'm like, oh, yes, no the wonder. So,
You didn't understand what she said. Okay, let's go back. Let's go step by step again.
they're born of night. All these things are born of the liminal space.
Okay.
Brings it to a full circle. All these things are born of an in-between, of a liminal space-time, and then her other daughter, the sunrise, brings it to
let's go back even.
Sleep, chaotic things could happen, sadness, misery at night time, death in sleep, vengeful death, like all these things happened of an evening, of an in-between, of a liminal space-time, and then her other daughter, the sunrise, brings it to a full circle.
She says that she is everything. She's death and life, and she is the circle of life. She doesn't say exactly what you say. Yes, what you say is inspired by her. I'm not saying otherwise, but I'm saying to you that what you say is not translated like that. The translation is that I am the same person. I am the same person that you are worshipping, and I bring everything new every morning, and I kill it every night. That's a translation what she says to you. Okay, you don't understand what he says though, and you should. And as I said, I explain because I want you to stay away from him. And you say that it blew my mind. No, she didn't tell you that she's connected with Nyx like that. She's telling you that she's the same person, and you don't understand that.
All these things are born of night. All these things are born of the liminal space. That's who Nyx is, and I didn't realise to put it like that until Hecate's just done that in real time. I hope that made sense, because that has blown my mind actually, and it's like fresh news to me too. I'm like, oh, yes, no the wonder. So, alright, I've gone on a ramble. That's who Nyx is. Why is Zeus scared of her? Very much the same reasons. Look at all of her children. All of her children she is in control of, per se. She is the one that gave them life, birthed them, gave them dominion, gave them purpose and power. She calls the shots. Again, Zeus don't want to piss those off. You know, he's a wise king, if anything. He knows he needs to make allies, friends in high places too. He knows that Nyx isn't out there trying to be ruler of the gods, because she already has the power. She don't need that. She doesn't need a crown on her head in that way. She has it, whether he likes it or not, so he can either be friends with her, or friendly, or civil, or whatever, allies, or make an enemy of that. And therefore, history could repeat. So that, in my understanding, is why Zeus is afraid of these ladies. And both these ladies, whether they're separate, whether they're one and the same, it doesn't matter. I know obviously the ancients would have put them separately, we know that. But they are all powerful and they don't need crowns on their heads to say it, even though sometimes they're depicted with crowns, sure. They don't need the title of queen. They are sovereign within themselves. They don't need validation. And that's why the likes of Zeus would appease them. So I hope that has helped. I felt really drawn answering that one. I think by Hecate herself as well, to be honest, because I've not heard people dissect it, to be honest. Now, I'm not a historian. I'm saying it from a worshipper's point of view, a pagan, a polytheist, someone who venerates these higher powers' point of view. That's the way I see it. That's the way I understand it. If you understand it any differently, share it below. Absolutely fine.
I did it, but my way was correct.
With either of them, let us know your experience. Share and help each other out. Now, if you like this, hit subscribe. Check out my playlist on Hecate.
Okay, so you finished. Sarah, your understanding of the pantheon of Greece is quite Christian and modern Western. And if you see the divine like that, killer existing, new weapon unlocked, get Jurassic in gear and get ready for the ride of a lifetime with a deployable so advanced it defies evolution. The park is open. Okay. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. I'm saying if your understanding of the divine is like that, you have to change pantheon and you have to worship my dad, because all your ideas are incompatible with paganism and fully compatible with Christianity, but not how Christianity is done in modern world, but how Christianity is by default in the Bible. So pick and choose. Old Testament theology, New Testament theology. I have a feeling that you are more fit with seeing something like Jesus through a lens of the inside the brackets mythological aspects of the Old Testament. I'm not saying that Old Testament is mythology. I'm saying that the way the stories are presented in the Old Testament, it's something that you would like to do, but from the perspective of New Testament, like how women are included and all that stuff, So I feel like you should change the way you see theology, change pantheon, come to Christianity, and you should abandon what you are doing. I explained to you what you have done wrong with my country's religion. I've given you sources if you want to see that. I am a native as well. You can contact me anytime you want to. I don't mind. And yeah, I'm not bashing you. I'm just correcting your understanding. I think you are wasting your time with these deities. And yeah, we finished the video. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.